What
No.
happened?
You don't get to
Oh,
leave.
God.
That's a 6. I'm
You're
crying.
not
Alright.
sick.
Talk about that. If that's where you going with that, we going with the fucking. He about to go play in Australia.
Hold on.
Don't bring him up no.
So, like, I'm not denying what you're saying is not true. But Hartenstein,
Whether you believe he's efficient or not, considering his play style, it's not.
Josh Hart was the MVP of this series. He was there. If he wasn't scoring,
You had all the goddamn barbecue brisket for your little bitch ass down in Dallas for your
3-point shooter. So having that next to Jalen Brunson and OG is very.
Yo. So real quick, we just want to get back to this real quick. All right, so let's see. Where is it? It hasn't popped up yet.
I don't know.
The reason it's not showing. Yeah, try to re-put it.
Oh yeah, I got you. I'm gonna reboot it.
Yeah. Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome to episode 13 of the Hoopsters Podcast. I am your host, Casual, but I do have something I wanna explain to you guys. So before we brought in like the extra people and stuff like that have become regulars on the show, there was like some usual people that popped up, the originals, if you will. Rodney, right here.
Yo, what up, yeah, boys in the building?
What's going on, big brother? What's going on?
What's happening?
And then in the bottom right corner, you got my guy Daryl. That's that guy. Yeah.
Why you say it like that?
Dang.
That's so rude.
What?
Dang, he's still salty about something.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and then obviously, Mister, we got some brisket for your bitch ass. Himself, Brandon. What's going on, Rusky? What's going on?
Hey, so Casual really don't fuck with me and Brandon. That's what I just heard.
Dang, homie. I think Brandon's going to call.
You gonna do this? You wanna do this right now, Daryl? You wanna do this? You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this, Daryl. Stop. Just stop.
Stop to get the swole head.
Anyway, so what we were doing before we had started the show, Mara was showing a list, and I'm guessing this is the list of current best players in the league right now. Two things stick out to me. One, Luka over Giannis. Explain.
It comes down to nothing, but I think Luka could finish off this season at number 1, to be honest, if they go on the finals run.
Okay. It's purely off of the success of what's happening this postseason?
Of what's happened recently, yeah. Because last year, Giannis and Luka, they both missed the playoffs for their unfortunate reasons. And I know what both of them are capable of in the playoffs. Both of them are amazing playoff risers. And Luka Doncic, he's doing it again. You know, it's a little bit more of a I've seen it from you more recently. They at the same level, same tier. You could have them at 2 and 3. Those are the only players who should be at the 2 and 3 spots, in my opinion.
Why not? Why Embiid not included?
That boy, he just had his first decent playoff run, so like he's just now becoming in the conversation with them, because before this he never even had one. Them other boys, they at least had it, you know.
Yeah.
But and then
the one in 2021, it wasn't. The one in 2020 wasn't good. Wasn't impressive.
The one where they got swept by the Celtics.
I mean, Ben Simmons wasn't there. It's almost it's equivalent to the Denver Nuggets getting gentlemen swept by the Golden State Warriors.
I don't think I'm comparing Ben Simmons to me missing Jamal Murray and PJ and not having Aaron Gordon yet. I don't know.
It was during COVID, so likelihood. I'll check to be sure, but the likelihood is he wasn't the only one that was probably missing from that roster.
Ben Simmons, I don't know.
I'll check to see if Steph Curry was even playing.
But we got to be. Embiid has also had some like really nice rosters that he's underperformed with. Jokic hasn't had the same degree of rosters. Neither has. He's had better fits. I'll say that. Like they fit around better. But like when we talking about like Jimmy Butler's, James Harden's, Ben Simmons,
you're looking at a Jimmy Butler that got traded mid-season. They had to essentially get that chemistry going like almost immediately. No. They had to get it going immediately. Comparing that to Denver situation where Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Gary Harris up until 2020 or 2021, Will Barton even, Monty Morris, like all of those guys got to essentially develop all together. And the only pieces that got swapped out was Jeremy Grant for Aaron Gordon.
No, I agree.
You're comparing you're comparing two different situations.
Yeah. But sometimes the continuity and the fit alongside Jokic for Denver, they've been doing that very well. But Embiid has had the better like top end talents, like he's had the Jimmy Butler. I know you're saying at that point Jimmy Butler isn't who he is today, but that's when he was breaking into that player. That's around the time where Jimmy Butler, I remember in the game 7 where Kawhi Leonard hit that last shot. The last couple buckets was Jimmy Butler taking over in the fourth quarter because Joel Embiid, one of the weaknesses that he still has to this day is his fourth quarter performances. When I was hating on Zeno, I made this stat, which is luckily right here in my notes. Joel Embiid, he's still doing it. I sat here and took my time to let him know Joel Embiid in the entire 6 games had 6 total points in the fourth quarter without accounting free throws, and he shot 26% from the field. At some point, if you can't create in the fourth quarter as the best player on the team, him being at 4 is me trying to be nice. So like, don't make me drop him. Don't make me drop him. That's all I'm gonna say. Like him being at 4 is me accounting for.
That is such a. I ain't gonna lie to you, Mark. That's
he can't. If he can't be the primary option in the fourth quarter.
Then again, you've already expressed that you're hating.
No, it's not hating. It's being a critique, and I don't like critiquing people because I feel like he's a very good player at what he does. But when you are ranking 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to critique little things like him not being able to score in the fourth quarter.
He's not scoring in the fourth quarter this year. You literally just pointed out a stat for this year. While we all understand that the nigga was playing under the pretense that he had a torn ligament in his knee. That man was hurt. He wasn't supposed to be on the floor at all, if you ask me. And you're sitting here nitpicking you're nitpicking the fourth quarter of a player that, truth be told, shouldn't be on the floor in the first place. That's weird. I'm nitpicking. Because when he was healthy this season, there's no way that you can say that the reason why he can't be in an argument with Luka, Giannis, and even Jokic for being the best player in the world is because of fourth quarter shit.
No, that was the same reason last year. If you watch the Celtics series in the fourth quarter last year, that's why James Harden was upset. Somebody like Joel Embiid,
he was hurt. If your point is simply you don't think he can be the best player in the world because you need the best player in the world to be healthy, I'm fine with that.
And scoring in the fourth quarter
and start pinpointing stuff, because when he's healthy, everything but playmaking, he checks all the boxes. I don't understand.
In a game where you are trying to beat your opponent, what you do is you go after your opponent's weaknesses. And I think Joel Embiid has a weakness in the fourth quarter as a playmaker that you could get him not to score the ball because of it. Joel Embiid also. I'm not nitpicking him while he's hurt.
You are.
I'm nitpicking Joel Embiid at the peak of his powers. This is the best we've ever seen Joel Embiid. You think he's hurt or not? Guess what? You said he was hurt the year before that. The year before that one. Oh, and the year before that one. No, I'm critiquing him off of the best year that he's ever had as an individual, not while he's hurt. He played every single game in that series. He did not.
So was he hurt? Was he hurt or was he not hurt?
Did he play every single game?
Was he hurt or was he not?
Was Giannis hurt?
Was he hurt or was he not hurt?
Was Jimmy Butler hurt? Yes. Was Joel Embiid playing every single minute of that series when he was available? Yes.
Was he hurt?
He played every single minute.
Was he hurt? Rodney, was Joel Embiid hurt this postseason?
Yeah.
Daryl, was Joel Embiid hurt this postseason?
See.
Daryl, was Joel Embiid hurt this postseason?
I said yes.
Okay, then
I thought you said Steve.
You did say okay. That's your argument. That's your argument right there. But this argument you're presenting right here about how he only scored 6 points in every single fourth quarter when we know he shouldn't have been on the floor in the first place.
Look, your point would have been very valid if he didn't have the same weakness in years prior.
What years prior before his prime started are you alluding?
Last year.
Last year he was hurt as well.
Then shit, bro. like come on, man.
Say he's injury prone. Just say that,
dude. The thing is, though, you can't just say he's injury prone.
Why are you fighting this?
You have to rank what we're playing. Well, you have to rank what you're watching.
What, bro? Just say he's hurt. Like, just say that. Just say.
But he's hurt. All right, so he's hurt and can't score in the fourth quarter. Yes.
He's hurt, and so that's why he can't score in the fourth quarter. Okay.
He can't score in the fourth quarter because he's hurt.
Okay. Thank you. All right. That's all I needed. That's all. I just don't like the nastiness of, well, he can't be here because of what he's doing, even though I know he's not healthy. That's weird. That's very weird.
I mean, it's not because he's not healthy. It's because I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at Joel Embiid.
You can't assess anything that you're about to say after that. You can't say with fact, because for everything that you point out, points per game, rebounds, turnovers, all of that stuff is under the pretense he's hurt. So we don't even know what he's physically capable of doing when healthy.
And that's why you shouldn't give him that.
The only time where we saw him healthy enough to play was in 2020. After that huge break that they had during the pandemic against the Boston Celtics, and his team in itself was not there, whether they were hurt, Ben Simmons, or they didn't want to come because of, obviously COVID issues.
Isn't Ben Simmons the same guy who, like, all of Philadelphia didn't like because he didn't take a shot at the end of the game? Which it's funny because Joel Embiid this year, he didn't take a wide open mid at the end of the game against the Knicks. And what did he go do? He went to go foul bait in the fourth quarter. That boy be scared. He's scared. Wide open mid-range. He going to pass it up and go for
the difference between those two.
Foul baiting shit. He's scared.
They could have actually won the game and actually been in the series a lot better against Atlanta if he actually tried to score the ball. He was scared the entire series.
Yeah, but let that third option be scared. You got an MVP out there who's scared.
He wasn't.
MVP is out there.
How do you know?
Let him be fourth. He's.
How do you know he was scared? How do you know he was scared, or that he just wasn't trying to buy more time for him to be able to just make it through the game because that injury is bothering him too damn much?
He was scared because of his injury. Yeah, okay, I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Embiid was injured. Ben Simmons had no excuses.
Yeah, but end of the day, he still was scared. So. That's tough.
W hate from more.
It's a good reason to be scared, though. It's a good reason to be scared. Like, I'm scared of Halloween. Like, it's a good reason to be scared.
Salute chat. Salute Goat James. We appreciate you guys for joining in. Salute to the 3 viewers we have on Twitter. It's our first time going live on Twitter. It's our first time going live on Facebook. We're happy to have you guys here. And I want you guys to get into the comments, get into the chat. Let us know, your feedback on what exactly you think what exactly you think about some of the topics that we're going to hit on. We're going to hit on a lot of topics because a lot of things happen during this season. But we gotta start with the first one, the one that's been most pressing before we get to the one involving my man on the bottom right. All right. We gotta talk about Bronny James. All right, we're gonna talk about Bronny James. All right. So, if you guys didn't know, Bronny James has entered into the draft. He's expected to be second round. Really, he was expected to be dead last or on the bottom of the second round. But the man somehow, given his performance during the combine, has played out of his mind. I want to get you guys' thoughts on just a few questions. How good do you think Bronny James can be in NBA?
So from what I heard so far, a couple of Hall of Famers and All Stars have looked at the tape and they were like, he could be a solid backup in the NBA. At point guard, 6'1", he's got 40-inch vertical. I mean, he's talented. He holds his demeanor very well. So I mean, I think he has the potential. It just has to grow. Me personally, knowing that he didn't get an opportunity or didn't have an opportunity in college because of his heart problem. I thought it was a jump too early, but I could be wrong. I just think you need that time to cultivate your skills and hone them in and hone your craft in, and that's what kind of college helps you do. In the meantime, instead of get to the NBA, they got to get pushed to the G League to try to figure that out. But that's it. If that's the route he has to take, that's the route he has to take to get to where he may want to be. As far as him making the starting lineup, I don't know yet. The jury's gonna still be out. I don't think it's like father like son because all eyes have been on him from jump. And it hasn't shown that he has that type of star-studded talent that his father has. Being that maybe it's because he doesn't have the height or he doesn't have the jump shot. I mean, Bron developed a jump shot later on in his career. So we'll see. But as far as right now, my opinion, I think he's going to be a solid backup, probably going to be a journeyman in the NBA.
I think Bronny's as good as his 3-point shot. He seems like he's pretty smart. Like he knows what he should do and what he shouldn't, and he plays defense. All he got to do is knock down some threes, and then his confidence will build as a player if he's able to get minutes. If he could get minutes, it will be by knocking down 3-point shots because he's smart and plays defense. Just make threes.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like Cason Wallace. If Cason Wallace wasn't making his threes, he's going to play less minutes. But if he's making his threes, he's going to be able to develop because the Thunder will have an incentive to put him on the court.
I'm going to say this. So, I obviously watched a couple of games in college, and me and Rodney had talked about it multiple times that we felt like he's not a bad player. We felt like because of, the cardiac arrest that happened, we felt like he should have played at least one more year in college. I checked out his combine. He had a good combine. So he definitely has the potential, but I don't see him being like a starter. I see him more coming off the bench and being a backup point guard for a team that he's on rather than a starter. We've seen that he's a great defender. He can play defense, but he's just got to get that shot going. And if he can get that shot going, his offense will give him more minutes on the floor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you guys also about talking about LeBron and how his effect has been on Bronny's trajectory, his draft projections, just the overall coverage of Bronny going to the NBA. Do you feel like LeBron is setting Bronny up for failure with being so vocal and present with his NBA future?
You set him up for success, bro. I ain't gonna lie, because Bronny may have not had these opportunities if it wasn't for that. And then if he could go out there and be a disciplined role player, he gonna have him a career. All you gotta do is be a disciplined role player.
I don't think he's not setting him up for failure. He's actually setting him up for success. I agree with Mar on this because it's like you got to think about it. You know, you have a dad who's played at the highest level and arguably one of the greats, and so why not like use that to your advantage? So I think if anything, because LeBron, he's been such, you know, a good person in the league. Bronny has other people around when he goes to the league that will mentor him as well and help him out alongside his dad.
It's a blessing and a curse. As we know, when you play with LeBron, you have to change the way you play the game. And maybe Bronny's ability may show out away from his father, but if this is what we have, this is what we have. Cool. So the looming problem is that LeBron opened up and said early on in the year, I want to play with my son. So wherever he gets drafted, that's where I want to go, basically. Now he kind of retracted that. I don't know if that was a conversation between him and his son. Hey, look, I just want to try to do this on my own or whatever. But maybe that's the best part for him. Yes, Bron being at the forefront probably hindered a lot of people and probably pushed him back even further than he probably would have gone initially. But now that he's kind of moved back and let Bronny do his thing, I don't know what you got going on over there.
Nah, Champ says, salute to Champ, by the way, Mr. OG himself. Undisputed Champ. You know what I'm saying? You can't say the champ without the undisputed.
Subject matter expert.
Subject matter expert. You know what I'm saying?
My dude.
I don't toot my own horn. I know a little something about basketball. You actually missed the champ before the show. I actually cooked more. Anyway, so just wanna continue.
He just wanted to get his 2 cents in.
But I'm actually siding with you a little bit, Rodney. But I want to take it a step further, in the sense that I think that's the reason why you could make the argument that he may be hurting Bronny from the standpoint of like, when it comes to LeBron, we just as much as we understand the cachet that LeBron has and the say that he has in the realm of basketball, like just basketball period, his name, his words, his presence holds a lot of weight. So when you go, when you appear everywhere that your son is, that's a lot of pressure that you're putting on him in more ways than just one. Like, we're talking about him wanting to impress his father. That's one. Him wanting to put forth the best performance so that he can be out of the eyes of criticism. That's two. Him feeling pressurized for him to make it so that he doesn't get that tag of being one of these kids that these all-time greats have that don't pan out to be much of anything. That's a lot of like pressure on one man, on one young man. And so I feel like to some degree, LeBron has to know. He has to know. And I think that's probably, to your point, why he stepped back. You have to know that what you're doing as currently constructed, it can hinder him in the long run. It may not hurt him nearly as much. I agree with Mark and Daryl in this sense. I think right now, LeBron's cosign is definitely elevating him to degrees that his skill set as currently constructed probably just isn't ready for it, right? But in the long run, especially if he doesn't pan out like that, bro, think about what that does to somebody's like ego, what that does to their mental, what that does to their like their status in the community, in the basketball community. Like that could do a lot of damage if he doesn't pan out. All when you could have just told your son, stay in school. Just stay in school. You're not ready yet. The father figure is crazy, by the way. And I don't think I didn't see that. No, chat. This is how dumb Mar is. So one cat's out the bag. He runs the up the score channel. Please make sure to go like and subscribe. The latest video that they came out with. Also, don't think we ain't gonna talk about it. Mar has a YouTube channel that he's been posting weekly videos. His latest video was over the 2019-2020 NBA draft, which involves one of the stars, up and coming stars that we're going to be talking about later on this episode. But please make sure to go check out Up the Score, and please also make sure to go and check and subscribe to MLD. But this is how dumb he is. This nigga put number second. What is that? What is that? This nigga put number second best podcast in the world. What is that?
Hey Mar, I wouldn't let him talk to me like that.
What is this?
Hey Mar, if that's what he's doing, I wouldn't let him talk to me like that.
No, he got that, bro. I did put number second. That's crazy.
Oh my god, bro.
That is crazy.
They didn't see the pre-show the debate that went down, man. But yeah,
they didn't.
Such an L host.
And I don't like to instigate because I'm the peaceful one on the team. But I just know me as a man, I wouldn't let nobody talk to me like that. I wouldn't let nobody talk to me like that.
Man, we not here to fight. We here to talk about Bronny James in the conference finals. We'll get to that another day.
I will say this though about the whole Bronny James and LeBron James situation. I don't know what else y'all want a father to do. I don't know, like, do y'all not want the father to be there to, support his child, and this is your firstborn, fighting to get into a league that you've loved for your entire life, and now you're coming to an end of your playing career. You're seeing your son come into it, and I mean, I get it, right? Like some of the things LeBron has said, and I think Casual, you were getting to it. He doesn't understand the power that he has, right? Like sometimes I think he doesn't live in a reality with it. You can't say some of the things that you say about your son, right? Like he's better than some players now. You put a target on his back. Right, yeah. to the magnitude of what LeVar Ball did when Lonzo Ball was coming out, right? And he was saying, "Hey, look, Lonzo's better than Steph now." So guess what happened? Every time people played Lonzo Ball, what did they want to do? They wanted to bust his ass every time. They get clout off of busting his ass, and that's what's gonna happen with Bronny James, right? But it's gonna be worse because there are some people that could see the talent with Lonzo Ball. They could see the talent with a Austin Rivers, maybe, right? But Bronny James, his talent is still up for grabs, and he's going to inherit the love and the hate that his father has. Sad to say, and I know he just did an interview saying he wants to separate himself from, he wants to craft out his own legacy, but it's going to be hard when they call your name, and like whether it's Bronny James Jr. or it's LeBron James Jr. He gonna have to live in this. So if LeBron, be a great father. We love great fathers. But also you gotta step aside and let Bronny let Bronny do this. He got it.
I think to sort of give him to big LeBron up as a father, the father figure, the dad. Like LeBron has done. I don't think there's many athletes / fathers that have done a better job than LeBron has done in balancing being literally the face of the league for so many years while also being everything to your wife and your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you see him, I think the only exception could probably be Stephen Curry, but Stephen Curry hasn't been playing. He hasn't been the face of the league like LeBron, like the shoulder of the weight of the world, or not the world, but the weight of the NBA and its responsibilities being delegated to LeBron specifically. And he's still able to do that while also going to his family at night and not overbearing them with his problems outside of the house. Like, I don't think there's too many athletes that does that. That being said, though, you have to trust your process. You have to trust the work that you put in. Same way on the basketball court, you work twice as hard off the court so that when you get on the court, you already know the work that you put in. You just gotta trust it. Same thing that you got to do it here. You got a kid here in Bronny, And real quick, his other son is coming up too. You know what I'm saying?
Bryce.
Yeah, well, yeah. Your other son is coming up too. The work that you put in to make those two young men be as spectacular as they are, just for them to be touted or ranked in the ESPN Top 100, like alone. Like, forget the name. They have a skill set of a top 100, player in the country. You just got to trust the process now. They got it from here. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that I have on that one. Does anybody have any other thing before we get to the next question about this subject?
Nah, you said literally everything that everybody else is kind of echoing. I think as a father, it is commendable what LeBron has done on and off the court. You don't see a lot of fathers, especially Black fathers, there in that kind of capacity as he is, and he is a straight role model. Yeah. I may personally not like him on the court all the time. I respect him for his game and everything he has brought.
It's the father. That's all you have.
Nah, for real though. But as a father figure and as a top talent in the league, man, he is spectacular in both aspects, and that's truly difficult to do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say tops off to you, my man. Go ahead.
On a lighter note, Bronny did have some comments individually that he said that any real 2K players know about. There's only 3 players on this panel that unfortunately we were good enough to play 2K on a continuous basis. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's not really good at 2K are the ones at the bottom, but the ones at the top, we could talk about this.
Wait, hold on. Why?
No, hold on.
No. Don't you put Mar in that. Don't you put Mar in that.
No, Mar is okay. Mar's okay. He's okay now. He's okay. He's much better now. No. I'm saying I played with him I played with him and Elijah on Rec. I want to say probably like 2 days ago. He's much better than he was when me, him, and TK played Rec. That shit was nasty. The nigga got the ball in the corner and helped. Matter of fact. Oh no, never mind. He's the same nigga.
Hold on, no,
Brandon,
go off. Brandon, go ahead.
Rod, he's the same. Rod, he's the same nigga.
Because I do want to say this. I am going to HR after the show. I will be going there. But the fact that y'all are sitting here and spewing this hateful rhetoric against me and my brother, I'm actually pretty good at 2K. I'm just more of a. I like to play my career. I don't really care to play.
Yeah, we play Rec. But
I play Hall of Fame level, all that. Like I
we play Rec.
Why are you putting me in this conversation?
No, I'm just saying.
No, Rodney, we ain't coming after you. We coming after that light skin over there in the corner in the left.
Casual Chamberlain. We coming after him. So listen here, brother.
Cut your camera on, nigga.
Hold on real quick. Hold on, you know what I'm saying? My barber, he ain't texting me back yet. Leave me alone.
Hold on, no, I will put my camera on. I'm at work. I don't care. I'm gonna put my camera on and say this.
Turn your camera off. Turn your camera off.
No. I'm gonna say it right now. Boo yourself.
You ain't
gonna be throwing no shade at me about 2K.
That tells you exactly.
Came off Thibodeau.
Nah. No. Stop. You ain't gonna throw no shade on me and Brandon about 2K. All right, because we can take it to an actual court. We can take it to the actual court and see who can ball.
There. I promise you don't want these. Promise you don't want these problems.
We could. I'm 6'2".
You don't.
I want all the smoke, to be honest.
I want all the smoke.
Hey, we gonna have that one live too, my guys.
All the smoke,
bro. Tell me about it. But we getting the camera. We getting the stand. Man, we might get a cameraman just to follow us the whole day.
We can get the Bleacher Report crew to come.
Listen, and I'm gonna be real. I was gonna save this smoke, but I'm gonna be real. Even though he has a trash Giants jersey on, me and him will run y'all off the court. He got that bum jersey on, that horrible franchise jersey on, but we will run y'all off of the court.
He's literally taking shots at you, Daryl. I know you. Get up, Daryl.
And we supposed to
be working. Get up, Daryl.
Get up. How you taking shots at me, Brent? I thought we was freaking teaming up on
we on the same team. We on the same team. I'm just Saquon Barkley. I've moved on. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Casual. Back
That's
to you, brother.
crazy.
Back to you, brother. In the
That is
studio.
Man,
crazy.
look, all I know
Make
is
sure
none
y'all
of you
check out
niggas,
the backyard blitz.
all I know is none of you niggas can guard me in basketball. Anyway, but
You ain't got to worry about it. You never had a ball.
Hey,
So
let me know the next time y'all doing backyard blitz, man.
Yeah.
Next weekend? What? Next weekend?
Yeah. This Friday, I thought.
Or is it this Friday? Yeah, Friday.
This Friday and Sunday.
Friday,
Friday and Sunday.
I'll see if I can.
Make sure to go check those guys out. Now I hear them boys. You know, I hear them boys got a little. They got a new background. You know what I'm saying? Just want to throw it out there. Just want to throw it out there.
Let's go.
No, just something like. But anyway, so on a lighter note, Bronny said while being interviewed by the press after his combine performance, they were asking him about 2K, obviously, and you know, typically when the rookies get drafted, their overalls are, you know, relatively like mediocre. You got Wemby, who's I want to say him and probably like Ben Simmons were probably the only exceptions on them having like higher than average overalls. And even then, I think if I'm correct, I want to say Ben Simmons overall was like a 79 or something.
I remember Luka Doncic having a high ass overall.
Did he? I could have sworn. Yeah. Nah, I could have sworn his shit was like a 70 something as well.
It was probably a high 70.
I know for a fact by the end of the year though, that nigga was like in the 90s.
Yeah, because remember Luka played overseas like professional ball, so like them niggas was a little confident in him. I was shocked him to go on.
You remember going into him being drafted though, there was like they had doubts whether his game was gonna translate. That's why he didn't go first.
Yeah, that shit crazy. They literally
that shit is crazy. Hindsight. We ain't gonna talk about that anyway. Talking about Bronny.
I was trying not to talk about it.
So Bronny says that he feels like his overall in 2K should be an 81. So I want to ask you guys, fact or foul? Is that fact or foul?
That is not fact.
You don't think Bronny should be at 81 overall?
No.
No, okay. Not at all. I looked up.
As a second round pick.
Yeah, right.
Say it again.
As a second round pick.
As a second round pick, should he be at 81 overall?
No.
Okay, to put some context. If he was at 81 overall, that will put him. These are the players that have an 81 to 83 overall. Aaron Gordon.
That's crazy.
Lonzo Ball. Naz Reid. Any of those names? None of these names?
I can't. No. Look, the Naz Reid one is kind of interesting, but he worked his way to that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Russell Westbrook.
No. Like what?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to take you guys.
Can I
Norman Powell.
No.
Okay.
Can I ask a question to the historians of 2K, right?
Okay.
What was LeBron James overall as a rookie? Was he like in the 70s?
I'm looking at stat up.
I think he was a 75.
He wasn't even
like 74, like 74, 75.
I'm looking right now. I'm down to 78, and I still haven't seen LeBron.
Yeah, I think he was like, because Bleacher Report just released it. I know, not Giannis, but Wemby is the highest rated rookie.
Yeah, I got the list right now. Wemby, okay. I did not know that he was
76. Was he 76? I think.
Hold on, let Mar rock. Let him. Yeah,
Wemby came into the NBA with an 84.
85.
84. 84. That's dick riding, bro. But like he's been amazing.
But is it deserved?
He did. It was deserved. Because by the end of the year, that nigga wasn't even at 84.
Yeah, no, for sure.
He's like 87 or 88.
No, he got it. He got it. But like, damn. Number
that's
2.
We with you, Maria.
That's really not them being on their knees, though. I think. But anyway, Maria has been in the chat. She says no, he does not deserve to be that high, and I think we all agree with her.
Man, shout out to Maria, man.
Shout out to Maria.
Shout out to the homies.
She says 76. She says 76. Is that fact or foul?
Oh no, but
hold on, Marv was going through the list.
He wasn't at 77. Number 2 is Zion. He was at 81 when he first came in. That's not crazy. Number 3. What's up?
No, go ahead.
I don't know. As a second round, Bronny, if anything, should at least be like 70, 71, in my opinion.
Okay. I think we might be ODing a little bit, but
65.
he's closer.
Max.
I would say this. He's closer to 70, 71 than he should be to 81.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
not
take.
for sure,
That's my take. That's my
I'll
take.
give him. I would put him at a 71 starting out, and if he,
Wow.
just like Nas Reed, you got to work up to it.
Hold on.
How much better than Gary Payton II do you think he should be? No. I'm sorry.
What?
Let's go a little lesser than that. How much better than Davion Mitchell do you think Bronny James should be?
Bro, hold on. This is the exact reason
Davion Mitchell is like a 70. Davion Mitchell's a 76 overall.
Hold on,
so
we need to hear the rest of that. We need to hear the rest of that list so we can, because what like.
All right. Number 1, Victor. Number 2, Zion. Number 3, John Wall. Number 4, Lonzo. Number 5, Cade. Number 6, Markelle. And from Lonzo to Markelle, they was all 80 overalls. But one thing, we talking about how bad we think Bronny is. That's exactly why we should talk about the conference finals instead.
I don't think he's that
We're not saying he's bad. We're not saying that he's bad.
I don't think he's bad. I think I think his skill set. I think his skill. And I said this on the crossover. Shout out crossover every Saturday. From 5. What is it? 5 to 7. 5 to 7.
Yeah.
PM. I think the thing is, Bronny's skill set is NBA worthy.
Yes,
it just has not been developed to be, showcased in the NBA. He should be in college.
Or can you say validated?
Yeah, validated.
Validated seems a lot better because you haven't been on the floor. So we can't validate that your skill is as high because we haven't seen you play a lot of games as far as college.
Well, okay. Then if that's where you're going with it, no, I don't think that. I don't think validate. I think showcase is better because I don't think he's going to get minutes on the court like that because of his skill set not being able to even be showcased in college like that. Like I think his skill set. I think we all look at Bronny and we say his passing skills has glimpses. His defensive ability, his defensive IQ has glimpses. He won. That heart condition that held him back this season, that does not help his case. 2, the team that he was on, freshmen typically don't get that many minutes. So he already put himself in a tough position. If he was to stay another year or 2, he most definitely was going to get more minutes, which means more opportunity. And especially as those players, because there were 2 players that were in his position, they got more minutes than him. They are, if I'm correct, they're sophomore and junior.
But hold on. That could have been because of his medical condition. We don't actually know if he got on and didn't have these medical conditions. Did he beat those 2 out?
Right.
I don't know.
We don't know that.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not validated because of the fact he hasn't been on the floor.
Yeah, but let me ask you.
He was on the floor though. It wasn't like he didn't get no minutes. It's just he didn't get that many minutes. He didn't get the same amount of minutes as them.
Season had already
the minutes that he
forward.
did give you, the minutes he did give you, were you very impressed with them?
Didn't see much minutes to get impressed because he wasn't going to be on the floor.
Hey,
because of the injury. They weren't going to put him out there like that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brandon. What's up?
No. I got a question, right? Because I was thinking about a player, Scottie Pippen Jr., right? And I looked up his overall. So he's a 76 overall. Y'all think Bronny's better than Scottie Pippen Jr.?
Scottie Pippen Jr. was on the Grizzlies this year, right?
Yeah.
He did pretty good on the Grizzlies. I mean, he was getting garbage time minutes. He ain't look.
This is what I do.
Hold on, real quick, casual.
Bronny ain't look like a college player. Shit.
I'm asking this because to say that you're 81 overall, I'm looking at players that were either 81 overall or below, and I'm like, wait, were you better than them? Were you better than Zion Williamson as a rookie? Were you better than your father as a rookie? Right? Like, are you better than Scottie Pippen Jr.
Talk about it.
And that's what I'm making. And I don't know if he was. Oh man, I just became a hypocrite.
Bronny was just
but this is what I'm saying to add to your validity. Like Ronnie, it wasn't like he didn't play. No, he averaged 19 minutes a game. So the dude had 19 minutes to showcase his playing style, and he showcased defense. He values more, and on the offensive end, he has the ability to be able to see the plays that need to be made. I argue his conditioning due to the heart issue sort of hindered him from being well conditioned enough for him to be able to react fast enough for him to actually act out those plays that he wanted to make, right? That being said, though, also one thing to be taken into account, he didn't get that many attempts to be able to showcase what he can do on the offensive end as far as scoring wise. And so what I'm saying is validated isn't a terrible word. It's not the word I want to use because from what I've seen, I think his playing style has been validated. It's how good he can be. The best way to maximize him, that has not been showcased.
Because the season had already gone. When you in college is a lot different from an NBA. You can plug and play multiple different places. But in college, you going off the chemistry that's going on. So him not having that chemistry at the beginning of the season because he was out hindered that. So putting him immediately into the starting position, even though maybe he did earn it or he didn't earn it, we don't know. But looking at what happened in Combine, do you think that he would have been in the starting position from get-go if that didn't happen?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Ask the question again so I can give you a fluid answer.
Okay. So looking at the Combine, that player that we saw in Bronny, a healthy, more so healthier player than what he came into college. Do you think that guy would have had the starting job
for USC this year and last year?
Last year.
No, I think he still would have got, because the head coach. I'm trying to remember what the name of the coach's name. I'm trying to remember his name. But basically, the USC program, there was somebody that came out with an article like it didn't matter what Bronny did, he wasn't going to get the starting gig. I think his name. What's his name?
Eric Musellum. I don't know, bro. Eric Musellum. Eric.
Yeah, that was very little that he was going to do, because that college program doesn't typically give that many opportunities. I think the only exception during the time that the head coach had been at the helm, Kevin Porter Jr.
KPJ was nice too. He just had character issues. He would have been.
That was the only exception during his tenure in that program. Kevin Porter Jr. Everybody else that is like first year players, they typically have to work their way up.
See, but this is the thing though. During the offseason, spring training and everything, I believe that if he was healthy, he would have earned his spot. And we wouldn't have this conversation of him coming into the draft.
Is it Isaiah Coiler like on that team?
We don't know.
Let me see.
They didn't make the tournament. We don't know.
I don't think Bronny would have started. I don't know too much, but I know they have a top point guard prospect, and Bronny to me, from what I think he wants to be, is like a DeLon Wright. Like he play defense, make threes. Casey Wallace. I don't think Bronny's going into the NBA thinking he's a star player. I hope not.
I hope not too. That'll put him in such a tough spot.
I don't think he's going in there to be the guy on the team, bro. Like if he was to go to the Charlotte Hornets, I think he could play next to LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Yeah, as his teammates. Like, I think he just want to be the 3-and-D guy.
I think he just wants the opportunity.
I think he got to be a 3-and-D guy for opportunity.
And bingo. And the part that has me have hesitancy is just I don't know if the NBA coaches, depending on where he gets drafted, especially if he gets drafted in the likelihood is if he gets drafted in the second round, he's getting drafted to a competent team that probably already either has the role that he feels like he can fill checked off, or they have more talented players to where it really, like, it would be a struggle to justify you giving him more minutes than XYZ. So then likelihood he's going to the G League. And if he goes to the G League, like, you might as well have stayed in college.
Man, let's talk about the conference finals, bro.
we got a lead in there. He probably should have stayed in college.
Yeah, bingo. But anyway,
Yeah,
I got one more question. I got one more question for you guys before we move on. Who's the best fit for Bronny?
Charlotte, I'm not gonna lie, because look. He's a small guard. Like, let's live in a perfect world for Bronny James. His perfect world. LaMelo Ball, he's 6'7". Brandon Miller, he was 6'8". So those gonna be the guys that he's next to, and he's gonna be asked to play defense next to LaMelo because that's what he's good at. And LaMelo will have the ball in his hand for a majority of the time. And when LaMelo don't, it'll probably be like Brandon Miller, And he'll be asked to be an off-ball guard, be DeLon Wright. And if he can knock down his threes, maybe over the season he could, try and leverage some of that. If that's the world he wants to live in and be a Jrue Holiday, but he got to be DeLon Wright before he could be Jrue Holiday.
Is Bronny's upside higher than Trey Mann? Because that's currently the backup guard to LaMelo.
Trey Mann is pretty nice, bro. I don't know too much about Bronny. Trey Mann is kind of nice.
No. So I said Brooklyn would probably be the place to put him. I think if we're talking about Brooklyn, we're talking about a team that they have the wing depth to be able to really back him up on the wings, on the wing end, and so he could be more of a point of attack defender. That would help him lean more into his strong suit, which would be defense. I think we all agree defense is going to be his claim to fame. And then also they have quite a skill, been in so much of a need for a passer and playmaker. Bronny James could be able to develop more into that role. You have the young pieces. I'm one of those people that believe that they're going to shop some of these wing players out of Brooklyn by next season because they really don't need all of this wing depth. And so what that could do for Bronny is that could set forth a core that could build around, whoever they choose to build around. But Bronny fills in perfectly. You pair him with Cam Thomas, he gives you that defense that could be able to suffice a reason to keep Cam Thomas on the floor because we know how bad of a defender Cam Thomas is. And on the playmaking end, he gives you passing and playmaking that could be able to feed a player like Mikal Bridges because we know Mikal Bridges needs to be fed. That's one of the things that we learned this season. He cannot create for himself on a consistent basis. So if you have Bronny James there, that suffices for all of those people. And it's not risky because he's coming in the second round. So if he doesn't pan out, whoever they picked in the first round will be just fine. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't even think they have their first round pick, do they? I think Houston got it.
Yeah, Houston got it at number 2.
Yeah. So it's not like Brooklyn really has much to lose this season. They might as well experiment.
If I'm Brooklyn, bro, I'm sorry. I'd rather just do the Ben Simmons experiment again at that point.
Hell no. You treat him like the Rockets treated John Wall. Let that nigga do what he does. Let him go to Met Galas. Let him walk around with his clock like he the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what they do. Your thing. Yeah,
why not Orlando?
Because Orlando doesn't have the floor spacing and he wouldn't help.
That's what he'd be asked to do. Like I'm saying, that if he wants to be in the NBA, bro, he got a floor space. He ain't I'm not putting the ball in Bronny James' hand. I'm sorry, bro.
There's a player on that team that currently is basically Bronny James developed in Jalen Suggs.
Exactly. So
it leaves little reason for you to even bring Bronny in because he's not going to get minutes there. Yeah. Nah, I was about to say, what about Memphis? I was about to
go into another thing, but that would have put us in a loophole. Trust me.
Now we get to the fun part because now we get to play. Guess what? With my brother Roger. Right. Guess what?
What's up?
Guess who got the number 1 overall pick?
Oh, let me guess.
Is it the Hawks with a 3% chance? The Hawks?
Oh,
I'm out of
my
control.
Lord.
I'm out of control, guys. I'm telling you right now, I'm out of control.
Mr. Trae Young is
We trading
definitely in
everybody
trouble
away.
right
Just want
now.
y'all to know right now.
He
Trae
is in
Young
so
is
much
out.
trouble
Murray's
right now.
out. We're done. We're trading
Yes.
everybody away. First round pick, Alex Starr.
He
We're
is
starting all over.
cooked. Oh my Lord. So, as you guys know, or if you didn't know, the Atlanta Hawks got literally gifted by the NBA, the number 1 overall pick. They had a 3% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. Right behind. Well, I can't even tell. They had a 3% chance, so that should tell you how many people had more of a chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. And yes, they, by the grace of God, I don't know who the fuck said Walaki, but they got the number 1 overall pick. That being said, though, there's a lot of questions about this roster. We're talking about a roster that had Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, and Clint Capella, even with him going through his injuries, and they had a most improved player candidate in Jalen Johnson. You also had DeAndre Hunter playing and put forth a solid season. And yet, for some reason, the Atlanta Hawks, once again, playing team, knocked out. Rodney, explain first off, before we even get to, the NBA draft, what is your thoughts about the Atlanta Hawks in its current state before we even got to the draft?
It's in dire straits right now, man. Watching the team play this year has been an up and down battle. You get good games, you get bad games. While Trae Young is in the lineup, it seems like the defensive side of the ball is not as active as it was when he went down. So once he went down for like that month or two, Atlanta started skyrocketing forward. And it looked bad for Trae Young because him on the floor, it didn't look like the needle was moving forward. But once he got off the floor, everybody started to click. I don't know if it was because of what he was doing in the locker room or what not doing in the locker room, but behind DeJounte Murray, they were clicking on all cylinders, able to beat one of the best teams in the league, the Boston Celtics. And they were just continuing beating up on people with 3-point shots, defense, and just straight hustle plays. It was amazing for me as a Hawks fan because I'm like, man, y'all really look better without Trae Young.
Yeah.
The best 3-point shooter on the team. That looks bad. Got a coach fired because Trae Young and him got into it. That don't look good.
Yeah.
After being removed from the Eastern Conference Finals, we haven't seen or been close to that since. Even adding DeJounte Murray, it hasn't been the same. The team is not cohesive, and I don't know if it's because of Trae Young or the whole organization in a whole, but it looks like things need to change, and I hate to say it, but this may be the last time we see Trae Young in Atlanta Hawks uniform.
I just had some fun as soon as y'all brought up this topic. I hopped in the trade machine. I got a couple trades I made already.
All right. Well, hold that thought, because we're going to get into that.
I'm gonna offer you some, boy.
Rodney, before you move into that, I want to get your thoughts about this. What was your reactions to the Hawks winning the lottery?
I wish it was next year.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, I do see a lot of talented players this year, but I don't see that standout guy, that guy that stands alone above everybody else. Like, a couple years ago, you had Luka, you had LeBron, KD. Like, these guys just stand out. And I think next year, the standout is going to be Cooper Flag.
Okay.
What's your mindset for this team? Like, what would you want them to do? Would you want them to be buyers and, get another star to fit alongside?
It's not going to work.
But
I thought that last year before the season started, and then we went into the season this year, and it wasn't it.
So would you want to trade Trae Young for a one-man player?
Hold on, you sound muffled, brother. You sound muffled.
Would you want to trade Trae Young for a win now player?
It won't help. It won't help this roster.
So you would want a pick package?
I personally think that starting over and with this pick and Jalen Johnson as the future of the Atlanta Hawks is probably the best bet.
Daryl, are you there?
Give me 20%.
I can give you 20% off.
Oh, this is not. Okay, he's selling products. Okay, chat. If you didn't know, he sell he sell.
Work.
Yeah, he sell that work on the side. Anyway, anyway, I mean to get some further context and validity to what Roddy is talking about. Trae Young being on the roster had them all obviously having a top 10 offense. That's typically going to happen with Trae Young on the floor, but they had a bottom 5 defense, 28 to be exact. When he was off the floor and DeJounte Murray was at the helm with Sadiq before he got hurt, with Bogdanovich, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, once again being a most improved player candidate, they had a 13th ranked offense. They had an 18th ranked defense. Obviously, nothing to just say that is enough for you to obviously be in conversations with title contenders, but it's better than where they were this year for the most part. And so that's where me and Rodney, there's one thing that me and Rodney can always agree on. Whatever Atlanta is doing in that moment, it ain't it. It ain't it. Because you can look at it and you can obviously see from a mile away the ceiling, the clear ceiling that they have. And I think this, especially with Trae Young being as bad defensively as he is, that's just that's always going to be the clear negative, the part of their game that you're going to always abuse. Now, you can say a player like Stephen Curry was able to win a championship and he was bad defensively. He was never this bad. It's never this bad. You can say Ja Morant, that could be a negative to him, but one, he had the athletic ability and the size and the wingspan that Trae Young just doesn't have. And so that's the ultimate problem with this whole situation, is add that to the fact that Trae Young has too many off the court issues, as far as his issues with the front office, his issues with his head coaches, that begs for other players to either leave or get fired. I mean, not players, coaches to either leave or get fired. We're talking about a player in Quinn Snyder. We're talking about a player in a head coach in Nate McMillan.
Yeah.
What's up? Mr. Pierce? Last name Pierce. Lloyd Pierce.
I don't think Pierce. No, Pierce is going to be out anyway because he wasn't.
Pierce probably was going to get fired, but the way he got out, the way he got fired. It was very questionable, and even the way that Nate McMillan, I say he probably was going to get fired anyway as well, because I think that there was even though he motivated him in 2021 on the defensive end, offensively you still saw that they were just over reliant on Trae Young's play. But even when you bring in a player like Quinn Snyder, who probably is the most balanced head coach that Trae Young has had in his career, you see that, did you see this season more? How it was just clear as day. He just did not want to adhere to Quinn Snyder's suggestion of him playing more off ball. Those type of problems, and with him being the face of the franchise. Let me make that clear. Him being the face of the franchise, those are problems you cannot have. Now, you put him in a situation where he's not the face of the franchise, he's not the best player, he's not the person that you're going to go to every single time down the stretch. I think he fits perfectly in that situation. Because
I'm gonna say this
alone.
Playmaking alone, yes, but I think his scoring went down, especially when it came to those crunch time moments. And that's where DeJounte Murray stepped in and looked glorious. He turned nothing into a bunch of somethings. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was guaranteed if he got mid-range, it's probably gonna go in. It's more of a 60-70% that he's gonna hit that shot. Don't let him get mid-range. Like Jalen Brunson. Don't let them get mid-range. They're not great three-point shooters, but Trae Young taking bad shots or taking super contested shots all the time and missing floaters and layups wasn't helping.
DeJounte actually wasn't bad from three this year too.
No, yeah, he was definitely on scorch mode, but Trae Young wasn't hot, and then he came back after injury just to play in the playing game to, I guess, maybe give us the advantage to get over, and it didn't help because he made bad passes. He made those same shots that he took those same shots that he took all year long that never went in.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get to the part where I asked you guys, and this is the fun part. This is the part that I wanted to get into with you guys. What should the Atlanta Hawks do with that number 1 overall pick?
Alexander Sarr.
More, I'm gonna let you roll.
Alexander Sarr. I started watching him play. He is the guy in this draft that stands out so far to me. If Wemby, the thing about it is, any draft class that came after Wembanyama was gonna be disappointment from last year. You know, like Wemby was peak draft, one of the best prospects of all time, and that's kind of what people comparing this draft class to. Unfortunately, Sarr looked nice, bro. If I never seen Victor in the NBA, Sarr would have been one of the first people I seen play the way that he do. He played in the same league that Wembanyama played in last year. He played in France, and he's 7'2", 7'3". He got a long behind wingspan. He looked like a demigod. So he be getting them same standing dunks that Wemby be doing sometimes. He's not as good of a shot creator. You know, I'll say that way. When Wemby's an all-time prospect, Alexander Sarr not doing those step backs like he be doing, but he's a good play finisher and he's a great defender. Like,
I agree with that. From what I saw, yes, defensively and finishing, he's great, but his shot, it's got a hitch to it. It's not super consistent.
He's a center, though.
Right, but at this point, Jokic.
Hey, but he's a center. But if you're a center and you come into the NBA willing to shoot, I trust that you're going to become a league average shooter one day because he's shooting 31%, I believe, in France. And if he's doing 31 in France, I believe he could become like 35 in the NBA one day. That's good. Yeah, and he's an elite defender.
I think he has the ability. It's just the system that he's probably going to go into. Will that give him an opportunity? Will Quinn Snyder change up depending on who else is still on the roster coming into the next season? Being to give him the opportunities that the centers that we had didn't normally do. Are we throwing lobs all day? Is he running down to the rim? Are we moving away from that? Are we evolving from just running to the rim and he's going to sit back there and he's going to take an open 3-pointer because they're chasing DeJounte Murray or Trae Young, depending on which one they decide to keep to the hole?
You're doing whatever Alexander Sarr does because Clint Capella, what else could you do? You know, you had to pick the role. You couldn't fade. Like with Alexander Sarr, they're going to be able to fade sometimes.
The thing about that is that Okonwu, you didn't have to do that, and they still did that. He can shoot from the outside. He just didn't shoot from the outside because he wasn't required to. If you hit him in the corner, he's definitely he can hit those, but he didn't get that many opportunities.
I'm mad you just brought up his name because I just got done doing. I got 5 landing spots I see Trae going to, and I actually made them pretty fair trades. Okay. I should have added Okonwu into these, bro. He need to get up out of Atlanta, bro. He was being humble, waiting his time behind Clint Capella, who I think he should have probably been playing over at some points.
See, but that's the thing.
I'm telling y'all right now. Well, you know what? I'll wait to give my opinion on it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I was thinking that too. Do we get rid of Okonwu or do we move him to the 4? Because normally when he's in, he's normally at the 4, especially if Clint Capella's there. But Clint Capella hasn't been there for the longest, so he's been playing the 5, playing pretty well. Not a strong defender, but he's adequate. The games he played the last couple seasons against Giannis, he did give Giannis a little bit of fits, but he does foul a lot, so he's not strong defensively, and he doesn't really have a lot of offensive packages to him, so it hurts. You know, all you got is he's going to probably post up at the 3, or you got him rim rocking. That's it.
Yeah, that's
he doesn't have an in between game, so
That's what I like about the Hawks. They got a floor. Like no matter what, they're gonna be like a 40-40 type team. Because let's say worst case scenario, y'all worst case scenario, by the way, and I like Onyeka is him starting at power forward because in that world you will have Jalen Johnson at small forward. You want to move on from Trey, so he be at point, and you put Bogdan at shooting guard. Besides Bogdan, besides your guards, everyone's a below average 3-point shooter.
I think Bo's gonna be gone too.
I know, but
either he's gonna be gone this year or he's gone next year. But his contract.
That's not true. That's not true, by the way.
What?
Bogdan is not after Bogdan. Like it's not like.
No, you don't act like Jalen can't hit.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson is.
No, but I'm saying at the small. If you put him at the small forward position,
DeAndre Hunter was a better 3-point shooter than Bogdan this year.
Yeah, Bogdan takes a lot of contested threes, but
Bogdan is efficiency on volume. His volume. He takes 8 threes a game. That's why the 37%.
Huh? What percent he shoots at?
He shoots 37.
Oh, ain't that good?
Yeah, DeAndre Hunter takes 5 and he shoots 38.
Oh yeah, Bogdan's a better shooter.
Math ain't mapping, my God. Math ain't mapping.
Bro, Mark didn't hear, bro. Oh my God.
No, y'all looking at it the wrong way.
Nobody's
more.
Okay.
If he shoots more, and the difference is less than 1%.
After Bogdan,
who takes the high.
Mark. Listen to what you. Let's play it back. You said after Bogdan, there's no real floor spacers at the wing. I just
but I said
at the wing. So then I said DeAndre Hunter.
But I didn't have DeAndre Hunter included. I had Onyeka at the 4 in this world and Jalen.
Okay, so Jalen Johnson is at the 4 as well.
No, but Onyeka is at power forward in the starting lineup, and Jalen.
Yes, and Jalen Johnson's at the power forward as well.
No, you can't have 2 power forwards. Jalen Johnson will be small forward.
No, actually, and to be honest with you, Onyeka wouldn't be a 4; he'd be a 5.
No, but Alexander Sarr would be the 5.
No, Alexander Sarr would be the 4 because of him being small. It's the same reason why.
It's for the same.
Time out.
He's 17.
Alexander Sarr
is the same reason why. It's for the same reason why going into the. It's for the same reason why, as a rookie, Kristaps Porzingis was a 4 coming into the season rather than a 5. It's for the same reason why Victor Wembanyama coming into the league was a 4 right next to Zach Collins and not a 5.
I understand that, but I think in hindsight we could look at it and realize Zach Collins was the 4 and Victor was the 5.
No. I get what he's saying. So I get what Justin's saying because actually look, when you look at it defensively, that gives him opportunity to roam a lot more as the 4 than he is as the 5. I actually like that idea. That is not a terrible idea because that gives him the ability to use his wingspan a lot more than just being closer to the paint where you got to face Bam. Well, Bam ain't going very far, mid-range, and he's here. There's nothing else. He doesn't shoot outside, so I'm not going to guard you out there. There's no point to be there.
And an argument can be made that would actually, to be honest with you, when you said you saying that actually makes it make sense for you to make Onyeka, you to move off of Clint Capella sooner. Onyeka the starting center, make Alex Sarr the starting power forward. Because think of what that does for them, not just against Miami. They got the Bucks. A large reason of why Giannis gets what he wants until Onyeka gets into the game is because Clint Capella is not that good of a rim protector.
Exactly.
But Onyeka, for some reason, he has the patience and he uses his strength. Giannis doesn't bully him. Add to that a 7'2" dude with a long wingspan that he's been roaming even overseas. So he knows what to do. Bro, that could be chaotic defensively.
I'm gonna put this lineup on you real quick because you just said it and I'm like looking at it like that's kind of crazy.
Say the start lineup.
We're moving on from Trey. That means we're getting picks back.
Bingo.
Possibly another role player, maybe a shooter, hopefully.
Yeah.
Starting Murray at the 1.
Bingo.
I could either put Bo at the 2 or bring him off the bench, and I would rather bring him off the bench because
I would rather bring him off the bench.
All right. Either him or the role player. Him or the role player you get in the trade, right?
No.
No.
Coming off the bench.
Hold on.
Bogey.
I'm putting Hunter at the
3.
I'm bringing Hunter in. He's going to play
Put
the 2.
him at the 2. Yes.
Because he has good defense.
Okay.
He's more than 3-and-D player.
Okay.
So you have that ability to guard to play with Boston a lot better because of the fact that Hunter can stay where he is and he can hit shots. So we're good. At the 3, you got Jalen Johnson, who was emerging into his own. Then you add Alex Starr at the 4, and then go with Onyeka, who finally got an opportunity at the 5. That is a crazy lineup.
Now you would be doubling. Now you'll be doubling down. Yeah, thank you for saying it. Now you'll be doubling down defensively. Offensively, you will look very skeptical because obviously DeJounte Murray will be taking on far more responsibility of like lead ball handling role than any of us feel comfortable giving him. That being said, though, that would be the second coming of like a Utah Jazz type of run, where for like a stretch of the year they're giving you moments where it's like, damn, this team is really, really fucking good. Can they do something? And then they fall off. But you will be very pleased with one. You'd be very pleased with one. Alex Sarr's development on the defensive end, because that's going to be his claim to fame as a defensive player. 2, you'd be very pleased with Jalen Johnson's progression because likelihood is over the season, Jalen Johnson will have to take on more off the dribble duties. Yeah. And that's one of his weaknesses. And I really don't think it's a weakness. I really just think he hasn't got the opportunity because he's playing with 2 lead ball handlers in DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. So he hasn't gotten the opportunity. But this is the perfect time for you to give him reps. And you would get a chance to fully get to make an assessment on 2 players, DeAndre Hunter and Onyeka Okongwu. Onyeka Okongwu, you want to see if his rim protection can be viable enough for you to be able to justify keeping him, and because you're going to have to extend him soon. So it would be able to make that assessment whether you keep him or you trade him. And then for DeAndre Hunter, it'll be a good assessment for whether you keep or trade him because his extension's coming up. And on top of that, you got too many goddamn wings at this point, bro.
Yeah, we way too many.
You got too many wings that are really just sitting, waiting for an opportunity. You might as well either package them up, or if DeAndre Hunter is best at the 2 guard spot as like a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope role, I like that team in the long run, especially if DeJounte Murray is not going to be the guy that you're hanging your hat on to be the lead point guard for long. You just need him to up his trade stock enough for you to get off of him, bring in a young player, and you can use those draft assets you get up from Trae Young to go out and try to draft a point guard that can match with Alex Sarr's timeline.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I like that. I like that lineup. I like that lineup though. I like that. I
love it. And that lineup is going to be upgraded in these trades because Trae Young is the only person who is in these packages. And look, the first one is a package that I want to see if you accept. It will be Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins, and both of your 25 and your 27 first round picks back for Trae Young. Would you accept that?
You talking about the Spurs?
Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins.
Didn't the Spurs come out and explicitly say they don't want Trae Young?
Yeah. But I'm living in. He's a Hawks fan. So I want to see like who.
That's crazy.
That wouldn't make any sense.
He probably don't fit the timeline, bro. If we're being honest, he doesn't fit the timeline.
That way wouldn't be like do that. I would not.
This is only his 6th year. His 6th year in the league.
But he's like what, 26?
Nah, he ain't no 26. He came into the league like he
looks like
24, 25.
He's 25. He's 25. Yeah. He's Victor. Yeah, he's 25. He Victor timeline.
So because when time Victor's 23 and ready to compete, Trae will be almost
I'm telling you right now, you put Trae Young on that roster, it ain't gonna take long for Vic. It ain't gonna take him to 23 for him to be ready for winning.
I don't think he's gonna beat that Nuggets squad right now. He's not gonna beat that Timberwolves squad right now.
He might be ready after next year, to be honest.
Him as a person, but the team won't be ready to compete at all.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, obviously,
is a big step in the right direction.
That's fine.
And then the thing is, the San Antonio Spurs, I've seen that they're the team with the second most draft picks behind the Thunder. They're gonna have to use their draft picks at some point to cash in on a star. And
yeah, but who do you cash in? Who are you gonna cash in on if it's not Trae Young, Elijah?
That's what I'm saying. Darius Garland.
The question of the day is what
I would prefer.
They'll probably go with Darius Garland.
I would prefer Darius Garland.
San Antonio. Is Donovan Mitchell going from Cleveland to San Antonio? Is that?
I think Darius Garland fits this team better than Trae Young does.
Yeah.
Does he?
I think so. I think he's younger. He's a lot more malleable, and because he's never been in that superstar number one option role for real. I think he's going to be easier to instill that like the Spurs mindset. I think when he plays not next to Donovan Mitchell specifically, he looks like a way better player. So
well, it's because Donovan Mitchell does take the ball out of his hands a lot.
Yeah, I think you'll see a much improved Darius Garland if he goes to the Spurs.
He would need to be. He needs to be on a team where he is the main ball handler.
Yeah, we'll see an improvement.
Yeah, he'd be the main ball handler on there because there's no reason for Wemby to have the ball going full court.
No, I mean he can,
but he should.
We watched it all year. Like what?
We'd also seen improved Trae Young though. Bro. Come on, Victor is crazy.
I don't feel like we'd see an improved Trae Young. I feel like we just see Trae Young.
Trae Young.
Yeah, he just be Trae Young.
Why can't Trae Young get better, but Garland could?
Can
because
Trae probably
what would Trae Young have?
Trae Young would have. He's had Clint Capella his whole time there for majority. And now he would have Victor Wembanyama, who could also pick and fade. And Victor Wembanyama is a way better rim protector.
But you're not getting anything.
That's not Trae Young.
Hold on. Yeah. You're not getting something better. You're getting the same thing. It's the same thing he would be.
It's better because he would.
The same thing he's going to end up doing in San Antonio. It's not a different product. It's the same product, just with a better player next to it. That is the only thing you're getting. You're getting better.
It will make him look better though, because Victor Wembanyama, he's the best lob threat in the league, and Trae Young throws amazing lobs, and then he's gonna also be a better defender. I understand Trae Young will now be the second best player, and his percentages should go up because of that. Because sometimes on Atlanta, he's there to take some shots that are difficult because they need someone to do that. No, Victor will help him do that.
There are more shot creators on the Hawks than the Spurs.
But
he would take more shots on the Spurs than the Hawks.
Yeah, Victor would take the same amount of shots, and
he wouldn't be the number one.
Going to be bad.
He'd be the number one offensive option still, even with
he'd be the number
one offensive option, but he would have. It's not necessarily the role. It's not necessarily,
He'd be the number one ball handler.
He would take the most shots on that team.
It's not necessarily what his role would do. It's the options that he will be able to go to. I feel like in Atlanta, the options that he was able to go to were one, underdeveloped. Like DeAndre Hunter, for most of Trae Young's stint, has had to develop on the fly in peculiar situations to where like it's not really like I don't really see much of a reason for Trae to even really feel like he needed to trust DeAndre Hunter. Same thing with Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson just got on the scene this year and put himself on the map. You're looking at players like Bogdan, who has been hurt for a plethora of the years for the plethora of the time that he's been in Atlanta Hawks uniform. And so, like, you put him on the San Antonio Spurs, essentially you're giving Trae Young more players that have shown themselves to be viable in some way, shape, or form. You pair him with Devin Vassell, I'm telling you right now, that gives him a sharpshooter that he can be able to realize is viable enough to create on his own while also sniping at like damn near elite efficiency. You pair him next to Victor Wembanyama, the damage that they will do in a motion offensive setting, which is what the San Antonio is known for, which is what Greg Popovich was even implementing towards the back end of this season. You're giving Victor Wembanyama a playmaker, a passer that can be able to get him open shots on like a more than consistent basis.
And then next to those three guys, you got pick 4, you got pick 8, and you got Jeremy Sohan. You attack wings.
But that's the same problem. No, but that's the same problem that you just stated that was on the Hawks. Those guys are going to be underdeveloped. That's what you just said.
Who on the Atlanta Hawks? Who on the Atlanta Hawks outside of Devin Vassell or Victor Wembanyama is on the Atlanta Hawks? Obviously,
I'm not talking about just then. But
but we're saying
I think the combined shot creating, because because when we're talking about Clint Capella, for some reason we're acting like he wasn't an elite lob threat for most of the time, his tenure in Atlanta.
Elite lob threat is a little bit of a stretch, but he was a good one.
He went there as an elite lob
John Collins than it was.
They were both there for lob threats. They are some of the most. They are throwing the most lobs.
They weren't elite. They weren't. John Collins was more elite.
John Collins wasn't good at nothing else. That man was not.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that part.
That's fine. You're Atlanta Hawks fan.
Disagree with you on that part.
Matter to me. There's a reason he's in the Utah Jazz right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Clint Capella was.
Wait. What do you think is the reason that John Collins is on Utah?
He's not a good enough defender to be in the power forward position for them, because you can't have two liabilities on the court at the same time with Trae Young and John Collins. And then he's also not a good enough spacer and shot creator, in my opinion.
Okay.
To demand the ball.
The defensive side, is fair game. The floor spacing, the only time that he was not a good floor spacer was when he essentially gave up on even being on the Atlanta Hawks. This nigga has been asking to be traded since they threw this nigga to the Wolves in 2022.
That's fine, but this is beside my point. This is beside my point.
It's not like if John Collins didn't want to. If John Collins wasn't motivated enough to still be on the Atlanta Hawks, he would still be on the Atlanta Hawks because he actually fared well with Trae Young. The problem was the front office tried to fuck him, and it backfired. So he stayed on the roster. Now you got a disgruntled player on your roster.
That's fine. I still think this is tangent, anyways. The point is, he had the play finishers that you would want next to a playmaker such as Trae Young, someone who relies and thrives on throwing lobs, and Clint Capella and John Collins. He had that. He had the shooting in Bogdan. Even if you don't think Bogdan was healthy for the longest time, I think these past 2 seasons he's been reasonably healthy. I think he played 50 games last season, and he played 70 games. Yeah, almost 80 games this season. Last season he wasn't even starting though, because coaching. And because he didn't need to start.
Yeah, he is 10 times better coming off the bench than he is as a starter.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. But I think Bogdan showed you this year that he looks better when he's like actually given the opportunity to score the ball. But it's fine.
Yeah, but
that doesn't mean he's not getting the opportunity to score the ball just because he's coming off the bench. He is literally number one offense from the bench.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. He showed that he's more impactful when he's just giving the ball to just go ahead and score the ball. But the only way that was going to happen, or really the only way that is going to happen on like a competent roster is having him come off the bench to do that.
That's fair. I think you have DeJounte Murray, who was able to create his own shot.
DeJounte Murray came like 2 years.
I'm talking about the past 2 years. I'm talking about the past 2 years. Because that's. I mean, if we're talking about 3 years ago, that's Trae Young. We're
talking about. Yeah. No. What you're comparing is a Trae Young that already is irritated, has already like made it a little uncomfortable for certain people that's within the front office and even in the locker room, dare I say, versus a player versus what we're imagining, because it hasn't happened yet, is if he goes to the San Antonio Spurs, the options that he'll have, not only will he have a potential play finisher in Victor Wembanyama, he'll also have a transcendent defender. We already have been talking about him being a top 5 defender after this season. So that would be something that Trae Young has never had before. Also,
but that's not going to be good enough.
Also, a big that's able to space the floor further than just floater range. That is something that Victor Wembanyama could be able to do. Devin Vassell, a young player that's already like he's already established himself as like one of the up and coming scorers in this league, while also being relatively healthy.
I agree.
That's something that Trae Young hasn't had until the last 2 years.
That's what I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about the last 2 years, because why would I need to go any further?
Because when we're taking into account Trae Young, that's a different Trae Young. When we're taking into account the situation that is at hand with Trae Young and Atlanta Hawks, we have to take into totality, because what happened the first 4 years of his career impacted what's going on now.
But I'm not
You have to
talking.
talk
I'm not
about
talking about his
hold on.
mindset. His mindset's not the problem. I'm talking about his skill set, and I think his
We're
skill
not
set
talking about his
is
mindset.
No.
We're talking about
Just
everybody.
because his skill
Casual.
set
Hold on.
his skill
Hold on.
set is going to be the same from the past 2 years.
Go
That's what I'm going
ahead,
by.
Rodney. I'm
Sample
sorry.
size.
So Mars said that Trae Young is going to become a better player being alongside them, and that's the actual argument that didn't make sense, is that he's going to get better than what he is right now.
And I don't think so. That's what we're talking about.
We're saying that he is.
Yeah, I don't think
that
he's
is the
better.
conversation that y'all are back and forth. I think you both have the same kind of idea.
Yeah.
As what you're going to see if he goes to San Antonio, but it's not going to be better than what you're getting.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't think you see Trae Young. I don't think you'll see a better playmaking Trae Young making crazier passes than he already is. He's already great at creating advantages. You're not going to see any difference in his shot selection because he takes the same shots whether he has shot creators around him or not. He's going to take the same. He's going to do the same things.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on that point. I don't think Trae Young is going to be any better or worse, but I think he'll look better.
I don't think he'll look better.
I think he'll look better. Especially, you know this, Elijah. You know this better than anybody. If you put this player in this situation, in a situation that could allow him to impact the game,
the problem is
that that would make you look better.
The problem with Victor Wembanyama is one second, and I got you.
Go ahead.
The problem with Victor Wembanyama is I don't know if he's still going to be on a minutes restrictions. So are we going to see Trae Young and Victor when he's playing 30 minutes a game, and then for these like large spans in like the third quarter, are we just going to see Trae Younging with him, Devin Vassell maybe on the court at that time, and Zach Collins? He will
1,000%. Devin Vassell will 1,000% be on that floor.
That's what I'm saying. That's just going to be Trae. That's just Trae Young, and then to close the games. Maybe he'll look a little bit better in the fourth quarters, but in that big old middle chunk of the games when Victor Wembanyama's sitting because he's 7'4" and they want to take care of him in terms of his body, but he's not going to look much different. It's going to be Trae Young.
By default, you've already admitted that he's going to look better because the fourth quarter, you just already pointed it out. So if he looks better in a stint, the most important stint of the game, because that is the point, that is the part of the game where you need to play your best so that you guys can be able to pull that win out if it is close. You already admitted that is where Trae Young is going to look better at.
I don't think he'll look better. I just think he won't be a number one option.
I want to go to chat real quick because A30 is hyping right now.
Yeah. So he cooks first, saying this, chat. Most importantly, he'll have a coach in the front office that'll hold him accountable. Players need other people to check their ego regardless of how great they are individually.
You don't think Quinn Snyder was holding them accountable?
I think by the time Quinn Snyder got here, it was probably too little too late.
Yeah, so that's the reason why we have to move on, because of the fact that
that's what I was
Rodney, that's what I was allowed this foolishness to continue happening.
Yeah, but Rodney, that's what I was explaining to Elijah. I was saying the stuff that happened 4 years ago impacted what's happened over the last 2 years.
That's fine.
I hate to tell you this. Yes, Quinn Snyder was holding him accountable, just like he held Murray accountable. And hey, you are the leaders of this team. You have to show up because a lot of people are running behind you. And if you're not going, the team isn't going. And that's what really happened.
Yeah, and Sturdy says I didn't know players reached the ceiling at the age of 25.
We're not saying he's reaching the ceiling.
That's not what I was saying.
I don't think
I'm saying I'm going off of who he was right now. I don't know who's going to be in the future.
He's not LeBron.
Yeah. I don't think
he'll get better because he got older. It's weird.
No, but I don't think players. I don't think they were saying that he reached his ceiling at the age of 25. I think they were saying that the player that he is at his core. But playmaking, primary ball handler, shot selection at his core, that is who Trae Young is always going to be. Now, he can be better at those things. He can develop properly. He can still continue to develop. He can even be put in situations like me and Elijah are disagreeing on, where he can be put in situations to where he looks better. But at his core, what he values is always going to be there.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right.
He said it's disingenuous to limit a player based off
I
reputation.
mentioned LeBron, bitch.
It's disingenuous to limit a player based off reputation and without taking into account the other factors of the situation they are in.
When I said Wemby would all right, when I said Trae Young will be better, I didn't mean it like he's just gonna get some stats upgraded on 2K type shit. I mean, like his efficiencies will kind of get better and less turnovers because he'd have an easier job because he will now be asked to be a co-star if he had Victor Wembanyama on his team because Victor will not have a minutes restriction anymore. Actually, he will be playing at least 32 minutes a game.
It's confirmed.
But like, why wouldn't he? It's his second year in the league. In the first year, they were being careful with him. I understand. Over the summer,
it worked well.
Over the summer, he better add some weight.
If you can give me 20 plus points of production and the defense he was giving me in 30 minutes, why would I give you more?
Or
why do you do that? No, not like that. I'm like, at least until he gets muscle on his body. You know what I mean? I'm not taking that chance. Like,
isn't that what you doing in the summer though? That's why I'm saying like he will play more because this summer that should be his goal because I mean it was so important to them that they wasn't even letting him play. That should be his priority.
I mean everyone talks about Giannis's transformation, but that took what 4 years? 5 years?
Yeah, for sure.
He got drafted in 2013. By 2017, you started to notice the physical difference.
That's what I'm saying. So 3 years. So why would I take him off the minutes restriction over 1 summer? No, I'm gonna slowly very slowly add minutes and test out the waters a little bit.
Or switch where I'm taking him out of games at. That could be a key. Like, hey, I can pull him out right now. We're up.
And you can do that if you have a player.
It's usually in the third quarters is when they pull him out and he plays the fourth.
See, but that's the thing. Third quarters, fourth quarter, those are important quarters either way. If I'm pulling him out at critical times, especially we just came back from halftime, it could be a totally different game.
Yeah.
So that is the key of strategically pulling and putting players in and out of the lineup to help you and help him. Because of his size and because we know that it's been historically bad for players his size and bigger,
Okay. I mean, hold on.
I did not expect us to talk about that trade that long, but holy.
But that was the first trade, and we knew. First off, we already knew that.
Yeah, I sort of had a hunch, especially with Rodney being in. We were going to talk about, and to be honest with you, we're not really done because we got to get to the Spurs picks real quick. But I just want to go through these chats real quick. Sturdy then continues saying, no, he doesn't think that Quinn Snyder
held him accountable.
Yeah, held him accountable.
You're wrong.
He said, "Oh, damn."
And I said it. Ain't nobody like LeBron. LeBron is just a different piece.
He said, no players in general don't reach the ceiling at age 25. Who mentioned LeBron? That would be
Jayson Tatum looking real ceiling like right now.
I said it. Now what?
Yeah.
Jayson Tatum looking real ceiling like, bro. I'm gonna tell you.
30 says Spurs are notorious for not playing their bigs a lot of minutes. Outside of young Duncan, Spurs players don't play mid 30 minutes a game. Yeah, he's about right. Did they play? Don't play mid 30 minutes again. Okay.
Yeah, I said 31.
The average for a superstar is like 35. So 36, 35, 36. So yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's I mean, it's a fact, but I feel like that's a little disingenuous just because like Tim Duncan was there until like 2016. Like, how much time did they really have? And what big really garnered that level of, you know what I'm saying? Garnered that level of respect to play that many minutes.
This is definitely not Tatum's ceiling.
It wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be.
Are we sure?
Tim Duncan didn't stop playing mid 30s minutes until he was 29. I don't know what's no. Until he was 31, he stopped playing 34 minutes a game at 32.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Tim Duncan.
Oh no! I think he conceded Duncan, but he was saying every big that they've had, but that one Tim Duncan played from 1997 or 1998 all the way to 2016, and then like there wasn't that many bigs for them to that even garnered that level of respect to get 30 minutes a game.
David Robinson also played 30 plus minutes until age 30. He
played
played 37 plus minutes. 37 plus minutes until 30.
Well, I think we're being a little nasty because David Robinson was before the Greg Popovich regime. So
it was 95, 96. Greg Popovich was there in 96, I believe, right? Yeah, he was either there or just.
Yeah, but no. I'm saying because by the time we get to 96, David Robinson had gotten hurt.
Yeah, he was still playing minutes.
Yeah, but I'm saying like his prime, nigga. Like, come on now. But
nigga,
it's definitely not Tatum ceiling. And then he said exactly what year was that?
What year was that? And he hit a ceiling.
That he hit his ceiling. Yeah, Pop wasn't the head coach in '96, by the way.
Who was
it? Elaborate on that question for me, Sturdy. Or not question. Elaborate on that.
Talking about 50-50 Tatum.
If Tatum ain't reaching the ceiling, he definitely in the attic, bro. I don't know.
This is definitely not Tatum's ceiling. If Tatum hasn't reached the ceiling by now, I don't know what the fuck you expect. Look, what Drake said, he's expecting Tatum to drop like a quintuple double or something like that. I don't know.
They waiting for that Kobe 35 year, bro.
Nah, for real. They waiting for him to pull a Shea or something. I don't know, but
Tatum ain't peak yet.
Yeah, that's
he's only 19, bro.
So the Spurs secured the number 4 and 8 pick. All right, we'll make this quick so we can move on to, sort of like a little hot of a topic. Well, not a topic, but with more important matters. Should they keep a trade?
I mean, in a world where they trade Trae Young or trade for Trae Young, they should keep him and draft wings. But I think they should actually keep him in both worlds, because if they don't get Trae Young, I like Nikola Topic for them. And the funny thing is, Nikola Topic, he kind of remind me of the Manu and Tony Parker, bro. He got that Euro step in him, the kind of how he play.
He's not a tremendously good shooter though. So
exactly,
that is his only knock right now.
I was gonna say that the last player I will compare him to is Josh Giddey, kind of, So he got that Manu, Tony, Josh Giddey, So he could just come in and not knock down any shots, and it ruins everything. So.
I don't know. Nah, to be honest, because I don't even think Topic. I don't think Topic is a projected top 4 pick.
I like Topic a lot, though. Yeah, if he's not top 4, he would be top 8. What?
I know he's top 10. I know he's top 10.
I think he is.
I know he's top 10. I know he's top 10. I just don't.
I mean, they got, even if they don't take him at 4, they take him at 8. So you're chilling.
I take that back. Before everything went down, he was a top 4. I don't know what it is now, though.
I was gonna say, if Nikola Topic ain't top 4, this draft class deep. Fuck what y'all be saying, bro.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you guys as well. But real quick, you got Sarr, you got Zachary Rissacher, you got Reed Shepard. No, you're right. Nikola Topic is still he's viewed to be between the fourth and 5th pick. It's between him it's between him or Matas Buzelis.
He's a forward, right?
Yeah, 6'8". They saying he give Hito vibes.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
I say, man, this feels like it's gonna be the role player draft. Where you get your Rashard Lewis's, your Shane Battier,
and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Get to Victor.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. This is a team that has their superstar. You're probably gonna draft you're probably gonna trade for another star in this offseason. So you can go grab role players out the draft.
You know they're going for trade. Anyway,
I said earlier. I said this earlier.
I think Darius Garland would be a star on this team. So
get out of here. So 30 said Tatum could I think he meant to put a slash. Tatum said could will hit his peak when he becomes more efficient, better playmaker, and more stronger. And again, if you think at this stage of Jayson Tatum's career that he is going to be more consistent, more efficient, better playmaker.
This nigga done made like 7 conference finals in a row, and
I don't know.
This nigga Jayson Tatum is already hyper efficient. He already made the playmaking stride.
Yeah,
he already did that.
And it wasn't that big of a jump.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough.
Rebounder on his team.
He's already strong as fuck. He's been strong.
Not everybody, bro. Like, people gotta realize, bro. Not everybody is been. Bro, you know what? I'm reading this. Hold on. Let's read this one more time. Tatum could/will hit his peak when he becomes more efficient, a better playmaker, and more strong. You know what that sounds like to me, y'all? That's all LeBron fucking James, nigga. Get
I'm gonna tell you how Jayson Tatum could get better. I'm gonna tell you exactly what he can do. His mentality. He don't got it in him. He thinks he's Kobe. He should be stronger. You're right. But guess what? He stepped back, fade away, hezzy three. You know that's what Tatum needs to stop taking those dumb shots in the fourth.
I agree. He is strong. He doesn't initiate the physicality.
Do y'all not remember when Tatum came into the league and was just bullying people in the paint? And people got mad at him because he started shooting mid ranges. Because he was so good at bullying in the paint.
It's not like he's not strong. It's just he doesn't use his strength.
Exactly the mentality, bro. Like
it's like them dudes you see at the gym that you be like, bro, you tall for nothing. He's strong for nothing. Nigga just put on weight just to
he's a great rebounder. He can box out like a motherfucker. I tell you that.
He's strong as fuck, bro.
Box out is crazy. You know them fake rebounds. Anyway.
Tatum. I was watching Tatum, bro. He be grabbing some contested rebounds, bro. He be two-handing them hoes sometimes, bro. Give Tatum his props, bro. He a good rebounder, bro. I don't like Tatum.
50-50 Tatum will always be the nickname that me and Rodney choose to give.
Datum.
Datum is crazy.
That is wild.
Is this
draft?
Hey, but it's a fact though, man. Stop acting.
Yeah, bro. Look,
except for this year. This year is the only time I can't say it.
Going back to this draft lottery, is this draft as bad as the media making it out to be?
I'm gonna say it again. Like I said earlier, I don't see the standout player that shoots this draft higher. Yes, I get it. They're following Victor Wembanyama, but we're also following draft picks like Donovan Mitchell. What's his name?
Who?
John.
Wait, what are you talking about?
So when you look at certain drafts, there's a lot of players in the draft that are just sky. Their talents are way better than everybody else in that draft. But that's what brings this draft higher, because everybody's standing up looking at that dude saying, I can be better than him. Let me play better than him.
Thing about it though is, bro, we be wrong, bro. Like we thought Ben Simmons was the standout player.
I don't know why you thought that. I don't know. I have no clue why you thought that. Never thought that in my life.
Who else are you going to pick? Who else are you going to look at? Did you think you seeing Jayson Tatum in that long year and did you think he was better than Ben Simmons? You seeing Markelle Fultz in that over there in
that wasn't his draft. What? I thought
that was his draft.
No, he got hurt and he was a part of that rookie class because he got hurt.
You sure right. Did Brandon Ingram stand out?
Yes.
In college, yes, he did.
Over Ben Simmons?
No,
over Ben Simmons?
No, he did not.
Yes, in college, yes, he did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Really?
Brandon Ingram was what came in as the project
Oklahoma
player.
Go back to work.
He came in as the project player. Ben Simmons was the ready-made.
No one's in the store. Shut up,
superstar.
Okay? Look.
Shut up. Look, just shut up.
Elijah, that wasn't towards you. That was towards Rodney. No. Look here, Ben Simmons was standing out. I know you built like the number 8 ball. Ain't talking to me like that.
Oh, the 8 ball. Good to go.
Here they go.
Goddamn watermelon face ass boy.
Okay. Anyway. All right, we're going too crazy. No, Markelle Fultz was in that 2017 draft.
Only thing I know is, for example, 2 years ago, we didn't know J-Dub was gonna be this. He went 13. Like, we don't know what the draft class is gonna be. We gonna see.
Agreed.
And Alexander Sarr, he looked like a real good NBA player. I just talked highly of Nikola Topic, and he's ranked 4th. You know, there is 2 other guys people think is better than him.
Let me ask y'all this. You said he looked like a really good NBA player. Did you think that Luka Doncic looked like a really good NBA player?
Yes.
Luka
just really good?
Yes.
Luka Doncic.
No, Luka was.
Luka Doncic.
I thought Luka's upside was going to be like a top 10 player in the NBA. I didn't obviously foresee his playmaking transcending to this level, but I thought he was gonna be very good, like at his best. I just didn't know if that because around that time that Luka, it's sort of the same thing that Kristaps had to overcome. The time that they came in, they were the NBA or NBA front office were like hesitant to take the pick, take them as like a high pick because they had like on so many of them. Look at Alex Len. Alex Len was a
Dragon Bender.
Yeah, look at Dragan Bender, and so they were hesitant to take them in the first place. So I was more hesitant on whether he was going to get the opportunity to showcase. But luckily, he got traded to Dallas, and Dallas is known for giving foreigners opportunity.
I feel like with every Dragan Bender, you have Manu Ginobili.
And the thing about it is, Luka Doncic.
It's hard for you to say it like that because we do have
he's wrong. He's wrong.
They came and they still produce and they play well.
He's tripping.
What? Hey, bro, you don't.
Maybe not Manu Ginobili. Maybe like
Manu Ginobili does not grow on trees, brother. Manu Ginobili does not grow on trees.
Dennis Schroeder.
Every Alex Lender's a Hall of Famer.
Say it again more. I'm sorry, we didn't hear you.
You're saying for every Alex Len, there's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, basically. That's basically what it sounds like you're saying. And Hall of Famers do not grow on trees.
Yeah.
But no. Getting back to it, bro. After Ben Simmons, what he did at LSU, which for the amount of time that he played was it was really impressive. Brandon Ingram. Albeit standing out, he didn't stand out more than Ben Simmons, which is what he was doing on a passing level and even defense. He made the shit look effortless. We have to acknowledge, Ben Simmons literally, he showed you what it could be, and then he walked away and said, "I'll see y'all come draft time." And niggas really waited for him. They really waited for this nigga. That's crazy.
Thing about Luka Doncic though is he was a basketball Hall of Famer before he stepped into the NBA. He played in the second best basketball league, and he was the MVP. He was literally the best ever European prospect of all time. Tuning into him was crazy because he was that good of a playmaker, and he was doing it against pro athletes since 17 years old.
I didn't know that it was going to transcend like this.
Nah, he stepped in day one and was that nigga, bro.
That's who they thought Ricky Rubio was going to be.
Yeah. But Ricky Rubio was never the MVP.
Absolutely not.
Luka was literally the best player.
That is what they thought Ricky Rubio was going to be.
That's what I'm saying. They thought Ricky Rubio was going to transcend and do that.
Then they drafted him high, and the Timberwolves waited for this nigga.
Yeah, 2 years or a year. Yeah, it was crazy.
I think it was 2 years because he made his rookie debut in 2011. He made his rookie debut in 2011.
Yeah. Waiting is crazy for sure.
Yeah, that was crazy. But okay, so we gotta move into a little bit of business. You know what I'm saying? Because we do gotta talk about certain things that happen.
The main topic, man.
So the Celtics closed out the Cavs 4-1 last week. We obviously didn't get to talk about it, but I just want to get you guys' thoughts about, what was the biggest takeaway you took from, the Celtics dog walking the Cleveland Cavaliers, and where exactly do you see any hiccups coming for the Celtics?
I saw a hiccup in that game 3, I believe, where Darius Garland went off for 30 points. In that fourth quarter, Boston Celtics did exactly what I'm scared of them as a team. They just choke. They just always choke, and they're not playing any healthy. They're not playing any good teams, and they're gonna choke.
Yeah. Rodney, anything? No, I'm sorry, Elijah, go ahead.
All I want to say is, bro, I remember that 2008 Celtics team, and those guys went to 7 in every series before the finals, and they got it done. I feel like y'all are overestimating what a choke could be like. The Celtics could realistically go up 3-0 choke 2-3 games and still win a championship after choking. They're that good of a team.
I agree.
It's in like they have room for error because they are that good of a team. So I don't know why.
I don't think that to be clear, I didn't say anything about choking. I said where exactly do you think like a hiccup as far as like a challenge is going to come? Because so far the Celtics really have not been challenged, and dare I say they're not going to be challenged until they get to the finals, especially going up against the Indiana Pacers up next.
It depends on who they play. If they play the Mavericks, I don't think they're going to have a challenge. I think they're just good, clean sweep.
Yeah.
I
think you're underrating. How have we gotten this far along and we're still underrating how big of acquisitions the Daigneault, Gafford and PJ Washington.
That's fine. The perimeter defense on the Mavericks is not good enough to stop that Celtics team.
No, but I'm not. They can beat them. I'm saying challenge them. Like add some parity to the Celtics playoff run right now. Because I'm telling you right now, I think it don't matter whether it's the Timberwolves or the Mavericks. I think Luka Doncic posed problems for the Celtics because of his size. He's able to cause problems for Jrue Holiday and Derrick White to not even be able to get at his dribble because he's just going to take him down low like he did the Oklahoma City Thunder this past series.
Jalen Brown.
If it's Jayson Tatum,
they were just getting Jalen Brown on him. Yeah.
If you put Jalen Brown on him, then now Luka gets to use his craftiness to probably force him to get into foul trouble.
That's fine. They have more than enough. Like the problem with the Celtics,
name another.
They have more than enough depth to solve that problem. For them to have, no, we only have 4 top defenders on our team in our lineup right now because Jaylen Brown is in foul trouble. Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, have you seen Dallas
stopping? It's not about stopping Luka. It's about stopping everyone else. If you can stop Tim Duncan from getting his buckets, Gafford, Lively, PJ from getting their buckets, that's when you're winning the games. It's not gonna be off Luka. Luka can drop 30.
He did say Tim Duncan. I was very
good. Tim Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway ain't even
okay. Tim Hardaway Jr. has not been the killer.
Josh Green, Kyrie, like if you can stop these guys from getting their shots consistently, and I think they have the personnel to do that, that's what's gonna win you the game. Because Luka is a superstar. We know Luka is a superstar. He's gonna get his. Stop everybody else. And they have more than enough personnel to do that.
Are you stopping Kyrie?
I think you can reasonably stop Kyrie for enough games to win a series.
I disagree.
I don't think you can.
If you don't, to Sturdy's chat, who says, shout out to the Celtics for handling business. However, they are showing the same bad habits even in the games they won. Celtics can't beat the Wolves without KP. I agree, and I'll go a step further. I don't think the Celtics can beat the Dallas Mavericks without KP. Because think of that rim protection that they're missing. And KP is not no world beater as far as a rim protector. I just want to make that clear. But when you traded Robert Williams, you basically said, KP, it's up to you now.
That's fine.
If KP's not there, it's free reign at the rim.
I thought he was gonna be there mid-series or early series, like game 2.
Is he gonna be there? If he's there, then we're back to the Celtics. But if he's not there, beating the Celtics doesn't seem like that out of reach for the Western Conference.
I'll say this in terms of Kyrie, the point. In the Clippers series, he did not play I don't think he played real perimeter defense. In the Thunder series, I think he played real perimeter defense, and you saw in those games he was turning over the ball a lot more. And it's not like he was scoring worse. He's a scorer. He's gonna get his buckets. Yeah, but his turnovers would be what would kill that Mavericks team.
Okay. No, fair criticism. I'm just saying adding some bumps, and I think even with the Dallas Mavericks, like wouldn't be favored to go up against the Celtics. I think you would still look at them and say they could make this game. They could extend this game further than 5 games, like the rest of these teams have been in the Eastern Conference. Like we're looking at the Eastern Conference, they can't get more than 5 games off of the Celtics.
The Pacers are going to get 2.
Dallas, no, I think they get out in 5. Even in that in-season tournament game that they played, like if you go back and look, a lot of the things that happened for the Pacers to even make that comeback to beat the Boston Celtics, those are things that can happen one game throughout the series. It ain't happening more than one.
I'm not looking at that.
You're
I'm
asking
looking at
Indiana
Pascal
to
right
be
now.
Yeah,
And the way he's been shooting.
add that to the fact. Tyrese, he turned up towards the back end of that series, but the Knicks were compromised by that point. The Celtics ain't compromised on the perimeter defense side. So Tyrese Halliburton not being able to create separation on a consistent basis, that is going to rear its ugly head to the max against
the problem is right now, I'm not worried about Tyrese. Tyrese is going to get aggressive probably later in the series.
Yes.
The problem is Pascal is so on fire right now. This man is not missing. And defensively, he is looking better than I have ever seen him. He is any timely defensive play you need.
Bro,
he is looking amazing. He made this
Pacers roster actually look competent defensively.
Yes.
You're saying he's able to score with both Brown and Tatum.
Yes. He's not missing. Like, I don't think you understand the shots he's making. They're contested. They're in people's faces. It doesn't matter. He's just spinning and not missing.
He's not playing. He's not passing.
He's not. And then when he gets guarded, they just throw it to Miles Turner, and he doesn't miss either. So it's like, what are you, in terms of the offensive production of the Pacers, they're going to be fine without Tyrese being crazy aggressive the first couple games. He's going to get into the rhythm.
I disagree. I think if there was ever a series where it needs to be Tyrese and Pascal, because even though Pascal, when he said by the way, Rodney, he's not lying. Pascal's not missing. Pascal.
No. I know he's hot. I know he's hot. I watched the New York series. I know he's hot.
Yeah. And it's not just him. It's not just how lethal he's looking around the rim, and even for especially in that series against the Knicks, how good he's looking for the most part from beyond the arc, albeit low volume. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that he gets around the rim. It's basically
it's free.
It's free. It's free money. And then add that to the fact he's not just going to the rim, barreling to the rim and just throwing up stuff. If he sees that the defense is sinking in, he did it against my Bucks. The moment he saw the defender sinking in, he immediately knows exactly where to kick it to, and he's doing it in a timely manner. Pascal is playing some of the best basketball I have ever seen him play in the postseason. I have not seen him on this level. That being said, though, against the Boston Celtics, need a little more than that. Pascal has been showing up, but I think we can all agree, for the most part, Tyrese Halliburton has not been your consistent go-to player in the beginning stages of the series. He tends to turn it up towards the back end, but I don't think it's even going to get to the point of where he's going to be able to turn it up outside of one game. That'll probably be game 4 at home, and then you got to go back to Boston.
Hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
Do you think that the win in Game 7 in MSG is going to give him the momentum to, one, go into a big TG Garden crowd and be able to carry over that momentum? 1, 2, you have now Miles Turner is going to have the freest matchup he's had all series in Al Horford. Mm-hmm. On top of Jayson Tatum is most likely going to be occupied completely with Pascal the way he's.
With Pascal, yes.
And your perimeter creators are good enough to where they can keep Jrue Holiday and Derrick White on their toes. They won't be able to leave them hard open, or Naismith. Even TJ McConnell right now has been balling the fuck up. You can't leave nobody open on this Pacers team right now.
Truthfully. You really can't. You can't leave them open. But that being said, though, I think the assignment that's going to be sent onto Tyrese Halliburton has to be Jrue Holiday, right?
It's going to be Jrue.
He overwhelms him physically. He has the lateral quickness to stay with him. The screen navigation is there, and add to it that Tyrese Halliburton is still he's still clearly feeling the effects of that hamstring injury that he had during the regular season, and so he couldn't get separation early in the season when he was healthy. He damn still not gonna be able to get it now on Jrue Holiday, and so I feel even if he's motivated, the reality has to come into set the context. Against the Knicks, you can get that shit off on DonteDiVincenzo because Josh Hart, especially by game 5, was compromised. Jalen Brunson, a negative defender, or not a negative, but he's an average defender during this postseason run. to the point to where you weren't putting Jalen Brunson on Tyrese Halliburton. You put him on Nembhard. You were putting
McBride on Tyrese for the most part.
Bingo. And DonteDiVincenzo would be the one that you felt comfortable with him switching on, right? Yeah. But that being said, though, you can get that off on them. Derrick White and Jrue Holiday are different backcourt defenders. One is more crafty with the way that they defend you. He's waiting on you to make a mishap ball handling wise for him to attack it. That's Derrick White. In Jrue Holiday's case, he's overwhelmingly physical with Tyrese Halliburton to the tune that the most of this regular season, Tyrese Halliburton had some of his worst performances when being guarded by Jrue Holiday on the Boston Celtics. So, like, I'm looking at Tyrese Halliburton, and I see him having like a very impressive game in like game 4, maybe even game 5. But by that point, it's too late. The Celtics have already beat them, pummeled them to a point, because it's not just as much as we're giving credit to, the Indiana Pacers for playing lights out basketball. We also have to give credit to the Boston Celtics. Outside of like one game each series, for the most part, Jayson Tatum shows up on the defensive end, rebounding wise, and even shot creating wise. He's giving you a reason to still treat him as if he's like in his rhythm. Jaylen Brown has been showing up for the majority of like every first half. For some reason, you might as well call this nigga first half Jaylen Brown, because he shows up every first half. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Derrick White has been showing up anytime either one of them isn't showing up. He's ready for, like, he's just ready. Is Jaylen Brown not showing up? Say, listen, I got that number 2 spot. I'm that number 2 option. You know what I'm saying? Jrue Holiday has been like the definition of consistency as far as his defensive role and what he plays. Al Horford has been giving you good minutes. Sam Hauser has been giving you good minutes. Like I said, Sturdy, you try to make it seem like that wasn't a viable option. Peyton Pritchard's been giving you good minutes. Like, I'm looking at this roster, they're just as deep as Indiana, and they have more defensive weapons to attack the main sources of the Pacers' income. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think the main thing that you were looking for, though, in terms of defense is your interior defense on Tatum, because he's not really hitting his shots right now. And you have that. And then you got to guard guys on the perimeter. And I don't think anyone on the Celtics is a good enough creator besides maybe Jaylen Brown to where a Nembhard and a TJ McConnell wouldn't be a viable option on them.
Probably. I think you'd be surprised by by the creation that Jrue Holiday can have as far as like getting towards the rim. Trusting him to have like a more than like, let's say like a more than like regular dosage on a consistent basis of Jrue Holiday ball handling, I don't think you want that. But I think if you're giving him a decent dosage, you're giving Derrick White a decent dosage of attacking closeouts, Jaylen Brown a decent dosage, and then you're also giving Jayson Tatum the ability to really not have to worry about the playmaking responsibility. That's what Derrick White and Jrue Holiday are here for. I think that's just that's an overwhelming like amount of talent to be able to execute those plays on a more than consistent basis, as compared to you having to rely on Nembhard to play out of body, to continue playing out of body. You having to rely on Naismith to continue to play out of body. Pascal and Tyrese Halliburton, for the most part, they're going to do them. I think even with Jrue Holiday doing what I said, which was like shutting the lights off on him being able to score at the way that he was on the back end of the Knicks series, I think you still can rely on Tyrese Halliburton's passing ability. He's going to get the ball to the right person. Pascal's going to do him. But after that, are you relying on Miles Turner to keep doing what he's been able to do?
Yes.
You relying on that?
In terms of the same way I would rely on Derrick White doing what he's been doing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But everybody else is questionable.
What I would rely on is I think you're underestimating Tyrese's weird shot making. Like when I imagine a hot Tyrese game, it's not him like getting open and getting space and dissecting. It's just him throwing up bullshit. It's always him throwing up bullshit and it drops. So I don't like he's looked like that player recently. Not in terms of him like getting space and like having a quick first step, but just throwing up bullshit with confidence. Do you think if the Knicks defenders, specifically, Josh Hart and
What's my guy's name? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, Divin. OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby and Josh Hart were healthy like they were to start the series. Do you think Tyrese Halliburton would be able to get unlocked the way that he did?
Yes, because he did it to us in game, I believe it was 2. We just didn't miss. We had a game, I believe it was like game 2 or game 1 or game 2 where he dropped like 30 points, didn't really miss. But
that was game 1.
Yeah, it wasn't very impactful just because the Knicks were playing good defense on everybody else.
Game 1, Halliburton came out.
You think that was a consistent because he did at I'm looking at it now. He did that in game. Hold on, I'm sorry.
I think game 1.
It was game 1.
He did that in game 2. It was game 2. Game one, he has 6 points. Because I remember. Yeah, I remember.
I thought it was game 2. I thought it was game 2.
Yeah, because I was sitting there and I was going off on Tyrese Halliburton because like the shot he only attempted 6 shots.
Yeah, game 1 he was very passive. I remember
going off on him. And so he did. He went off in game 2. He went off in game 3. And then he played fine. He played fine in game 4.
6 and 7. 6 and 7. He went 7. He played great.
7. He played phenomenal.
Game 2. He played
phenomenal. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Games 2 and games 3. If I'm correct, game 2, OG Anunoby went down. Right.
Game 2, he went down in the second.
In the second quarter. It was the second quarter.
But by then Tyrese had already had like 20 plus. Like he was already balling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. But I'm just saying that to say like the Celtics, barring like knock on wood, they don't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you don't want anybody to get hurt.
For sure.
If all of them are healthy, I think, especially in Derrick White and Jrue Holiday, respect to what Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, DonteDiVincenzo did, but Derrick White and Jrue Holiday are some of the best perimeter defenders that the NBA has to offer. Okay. You're sticking them as a tandem on Tyrese Halliburton. I think that can grow to be very irritating for Tyrese from a scoring standpoint. Passing wise, I don't have any question because even in the series against the Knicks, I think they did as good of a job as you could on bothering him in the passing lanes. I think he was trying to make reads, and Josh Hart and DonteDiVincenzo, they're very crafty in the sense that they get in those passing lanes. You don't have that problem against the Celtics because Derrick White and Jrue Holiday, they sort of play it safe. You probably have more of a problem with Jalen Brown and Jayson Tatum in that sense, which are bigger players, so maybe that could play a role. But even still, mainly the scoring. And if you shut down the scoring for Tyrese, think about this. The majority of the series, this past series against the Knicks, the main reason why the Pacers were able to pull them off was because Tyrese finally gave them some contributions on the scoring front. You shut that away, as he can make all the passes that he wants to. Nembhard, Naismith, they can't save you. You have to do this.
I think you're misrepresenting what the game plan is going to be for the Celtics. It's going to be to just abuse Al Horford.
So you're going to want. You saying what the Pacers' game plan is going to be for the Celtics?
Yeah, they're just going to abuse Al Horford. They're going to abuse Al Horford. They're going to try to drag him out of the paint as often as possible because everybody on that Pacers team is really good at cutting. They're great cutters. Yeah, and I think that's just what they're gonna do. They're just gonna focus on that, and they're good at passing out of that as well. They're all of them are good at passing out.
I feel like that's a good game plan, but I think the better game plan may be just to push the pace. I don't think the Celtics, outside of obviously Tatum and Derrick White, Jrue Holiday is not known for being nearly as impactful when on the fast break because he's slow-footed. He's slow-footed on vertically. Horizontally, he's fine, but vertically, he's not that impressive. And then obviously, you want to take advantage of Al Horford being as old as he is. He can't keep up with all that. And so Miles Turner would get more threes up. I think Pascal would get more opportunities at the rim. Tyrese Halliburton, Nembhard, Naismith, TJ McConnell, especially the way he's been running the floor on the fast break. This postseason, I think the game plan. I feel like the game plan. Run them out the gym. That's your best bet.
I would run Pascal at the 5 for a lot of these minutes. To be honest with you, if they're
Oh,
just
so
run
you
that
don't
small
think
ball.
Miles Turner should? You don't think Miles Turner should get many minutes?
No, I think he should get a good amount of minutes, but like Al Horford's not going to get a lot of minutes. He's old. Like he's not going to be able to keep up with the Pacers' pace.
Wait, so what's your starting lineup? Who you guys?
Al Horford's going to start.
Okay.
But like he's not going to be able to keep up with the Pacers' pace. I just don't believe so.
I understand what he's saying.
He's going to get played off the court at some point in this game.
You want to explain? You want to explain it further, Mark?
He's saying that whenever Miles Turner is sitting on the bench, they should go to Pascal Siakam at the 5 so they can just take advantage of the slow-footed big to the fullest extent.
Oh, basically go small.
Yeah. Whenever Miles Turner at center, you put Pascal so they.
So then what is? So how did the Celtics rebuttal that though? Because I could have sworn the idea was to have Al Horford for small ball play.
No, it was for small ball play. It was to have Kristaps Porzingis take advantage of him on post ups of the smaller person, and he's not there for at least the first couple games. So
I could have sworn the Heat sort of shut that idea down.
They don't have the offensive personnel that the Pacers have.
I don't think. Yeah, you're right.
Their best answer in terms of them going small and just running the break, which is what they're best at, is Xavier Tillman. And if you're Xavier Tillman's your last line of defense, then I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I actually do like Xavier Tillman a lot. I do think he was the third player off the bench that you didn't mention earlier. He is really good, and he also has playoff experience with the Grizzlies. Joe Mazzulla, that is actually someone who he's earned my respect as a coach. So like he's actually been pretty decent.
Yeah.
Shout him out real quick.
Rodney, I wanna ask you real quick about the Cavs, which is crazy. Reports are coming out that members of the Cavs were upset with Jared Allen for refusing to take a shot to his rib to play that game 5, especially with Donovan Mitchell being out. They felt like they needed him. Where would he fit best if they decided to move on from him?
So that's a tough question. I mean, I would say he probably would be better out in Phoenix. That gives them the rim protector that they need, and defensively helps them center all that scoring on the defensive side of the ball. That's the only place I can really see him going, or being a backup at any other team at this point in his career.
I would love him on the Hornets.
I would. Nah, Mark Williams.
Mark Williams can play the 4. I truthfully believe he's versatile enough to run that 4.
7'2" at his side. Like it's not like Alex. It's not like Alex R. or like Victor Wembanyama, where like they have the frame and the foot speed. Like Mark Williams is your good old fashioned back in the day.
Yeah, Dwight Howard.
I can't see him at the 4.
Yeah.
Would you not trade him in a Jared Allen trade?
Nah, because I see the upside of Mark Williams. Mark Williams' upside is there. I would go as far as to say Jared Allen-esque.
Yeah.
At 7'2".
Okay.
At 7'2".
If you think that, then that's fair.
Especially with his rebounding upside. A lot of the problems that I had with Jared Allen, like even this season, is when he focuses on like being getting the boards, but it's often like capitalizing on the hard work that Evan Mobley does on the defensive end. So like Evan Mobley will play like the solid defense on like Joel Embiid or something like that, and Jared Allen just be ready to capitalize and finish the possession on the rebound. I feel like if you put him in a Charlotte uniform, he'll be asked to basically play the Evan Mobley and Jared Allen role. He'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I feel like I don't feel like he's equipped to really do that. I feel like you would need to put him in a situation. Low key, you would need to put him in a situation where he's playing with like AD or something like that to maximize that nigga. I don't know. That's just
so I think Charlotte already has their core players, and I don't think that's going to change at this point in time.
Yeah,
you got LaMelo, you got what you just said.
Oh, you got LaMelo, you got Mark Williams, Brandon Miller.
Those are their core guys right now.
Okay.
I don't
didn't know Mark Williams was balling like that. That's on me.
Mark Williams
Mark Williams
wouldn't help. Mark Williams, the problem with Mark Williams is he's not that healthy all the time.
Exactly.
So like this season, he dealt with like knick-knack injuries over and over again. That's sort of sidelined for the rest of the season. But when he was on the floor, bro, rebounding wise, like him and Jalen Duren to start the season was like going tit for tat for how dominant they were on the boards. And then rim protection wise, I definitely think there's upside. I think the only thing he has to get down back, he needs to stop acting like Mike. Shout out to Mike, by the way. Nigga, stop jumping so much. Like every time somebody be in the paint, Mark Williams be ready to pack their stuff, but like it'll get him into foul trouble sometimes. So he just got to chill out on that. But other than that, I feel like he's Jared Allen-esque.
Yeah. I was going to say for Mitchell that y'all were saying, why not freaking put him in Washington?
No. We said
nobody said anything about Mitchell yet.
Oh, I thought
Allen.
Oh.
And Elijah, Charlotte just know that Mark Williams, his injuries is such a problem that LaMelo Ball isn't the player I'm most worried about on that team with their health. Like Mark Williams' health is that bad, type shit. So that's probably why you ain't.
What about Jared Allen and the Bulls?
I made a Jared Allen trade. I think I sent him to.
I like that one, low key. I think that you would have to get off of Vucevic, obviously, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Please, God, get off of Vucevic.
Actually, you know what? That would be perfect for Cleveland because Vucevic can space the floor, so that opens the floor for Evan Mobley. The only question is, are you? Well, no, obviously Vucevic would be the center. Evan Mobley would stay
and you still have your big body.
Yeah, you would still have a big body, but he would be able to floor space on the offensive end, which will open the floor for Evan Mobley to still grow around the rim. Yeah, I like that.
All right, y'all boys lock in for this trade I'm about to tell y'all. All right, 3-team deal.
Okay.
All right. Darius Garland to the Pelicans. They get Brandon Ingram. And Memphis Grizzlies get Jared Allen for 2.
Hold on. I want you to say that again now. Go ahead and say that again.
The Memphis Grizzlies get Jared Allen. The Pelicans get Darius Garland. And the Cavaliers get Brandon Ingram. And the Grizzlies give up 2 first-round picks for Jared Allen.
Who wants to go with that?
Wait, Ingram goes where again?
Cleveland.
I don't feel like Ingram solves Cleveland's problems.
It doesn't.
I don't think Ingram solves Cleveland's problems either. I think Lowe did a video mentioning that. I don't think Brandon Ingram is like that consistent of a scorer, and that's what
there's another problem though. I didn't name the full packages though. I'm not gonna lie. On Cleveland.
Well, do you want to present the screen?
Put the screen.
Send Ingram to the Pistons or something, bro.
Because they would also get pick 4 in the draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I think it would. I think Brandon Ingram going there would definitely help them. I don't want to make it seem like that wouldn't be an asset, but if the ultimate goal is for you winning a championship, I think you would do better looking to add a big that could floor space. Right,
and that would be Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley will be now asked to go from power forward to center. He's been shooting the ball a little bit more, so Evan Mobley becomes that. Brandon Ingram and Brandon Clark will be your forwards, and you get pick 4 in the draft because Brandon Ingram is an expiring contract. That's kind of fishy, so I won't pick 4.
I wonder if the Cavs could go get Vando. I would love for the Cavs to get Vando, bro, for cheap. At this point,
that would add to the defensive versatility, but offensively, I think you would sort of be in the same.
But he's so cheap that you can make other moves.
Yeah, and you can
just build that defensive identity while making moves that offensively you can throw in guys that are just kind of offensive players like a Brandon Ingram while still maintaining the defensive identity that you want.
Just for clarification, we all agree Evan Mobley needs to be moved to center, right?
Yeah, he looks so good at center. Yeah, he looks good at center.
Yeah. Okay. Rob, what you think about this?
If I look across the board, I'm not mad at it. If you bring it in, are you putting Ingram at the 4?
Nah, Brandon.
Nah, you put Ingram at the 3. He would take Max Strus's spot.
I like Brandon Clark on the Cavs more than I like Ingram, to be honest with you.
Brandon Clark is coming. Brandon Clark is actually the one thing that would have, like, I think that Cleveland would be hesitant about. Brandon Clark is coming off of an ACL injury.
Yeah, but he came at the end of the season and he looked decent. So that's cool. And he's a filler player. They giving up a bunch of money. They literally had to get a filler player, and he fits a position of need. And they also get pick 4. So at pick 4, if they are scared about Brandon Clark, if they're scared of, huh?
Hold on. So let me.
Hell yeah, the Grizzlies. Jared, bro, you just said Jared Allen would do.
They still have the rebounding problem, no?
Yeah, and they got to.
They do have. Yeah, you're right.
That's because Steven Adams was hurt the whole year.
Yeah, but Steven Adams just got traded to Houston.
Yeah. Jared Allen's not that weak of a rebounder.
Steven Adams recently got.
I just don't think he's strong enough of a rebounder to make up for the lack of rebounding you're getting from your other positions.
Nah, Jared Allen isn't. I don't know.
I think Jared Allen would. I don't make.
He'd be your sole rebounder at that point.
Would Jared Allen? Because I think Jared Jackson Jr. he'll look better as a rebounder paired along Jared Allen. Because I think Jared Allen he's great at being that person that finishes off the defensive play. So I think, and especially like it's not like Jared Allen does not. Not Jared Allen. It's not like Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't try to go for boards. He's just not very good at the boxing out part. And so that's where he gets killed. If you have Jared Allen there, that's two 6'11", 7-footers that could be able to attack the boards. And the possibility of him being able to come up with those boards are more likely. I think that Jared Allen makes the Grizzlies a number 1 rebounding team in the NBA? Absolutely not, especially with the Minnesota Timberwolves still lingering.
If I'm being honest, I would just go for Mitchell Robinson. He's younger, better rebounder, and he's giving you the same thing on defense.
Mm-hmm. Mitchell Robinson would be. Mitchell Robinson would actually.
They got to get rid of either Hartenstein or Mitchell Robinson, and both of them provide what you want from what you're trying to claim is Jared Allen would do.
Mitchell Robinson would be ideal for Memphis because of his rim protection and rebounding ability alone. And he's a lob threat. Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is a great name. Great name.
Yeah, that's a great one. Daryl, what you think about this trade pick that Mark came up with?
Honestly, I'm all good with it. The Brandon Ingram there, Cleveland actually looks good to me. I think he'll be a good piece for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the eye opener to me.
What do you think? What does Brandon Ingram bring to Cleveland for you that makes you like that impressed with it though?
He brings extra scoring.
Yeah.
Because right now,
No, I'm agreeing. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he brings extra scoring because right now, all you have is Donovan Mitchell really there as a scorer. And Darius Garland going to the Pelicans, that gives them a better point guard than what they were looking for CJ McCollum to do.
And
Mad Max said, Mad Max Sports Talk. Shout out to Mad Max, by the way. Salute, brother. Always good to see you. He says Allen clears Robinson. What are we talking about?
We're not talking about
are we talking about when healthy? Are we talking about when healthy or are we factoring in?
Neither one of them.
No, we're saving assets. If you just go sign Mitchell Robinson, you save 2 first-round picks and you trade those 2 first-round picks for a wing.
And if we're being honest, the only reason Jared Allen's better is offensively. Defensively, they're pretty comparable, bro. In terms of what you'd want as a defender and a rebounder, they're very comparable.
If there's any position that you can go cheap on, it's center. Like center's like the running back of the NFL. If you were to pick one,
he's not a free agent, but he needs to get paid soon. And so trading him, the Knicks have more than stated they're willing to trade players before they pay them. Just go look at RJ Barrett and IQ.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, Mitchell. Daryl alluded to it. Daryl, by the way, they just giving up all the topics and shit. Donovan Mitchell is eligible to sign a 4-year, $209 million extension. He's set to meet with the Cavs to discuss his future with the team. Him declining can possibly set up an avenue for a trade. So what is the best fit for him?
Bring it up, Marlon. Let's get it.
I don't want to say it, bro.
Come on now.
Come on,
You
Marlon.
might
Let's
as
go.
well.
Go ahead, put it up there. Go on, put it up there.
You know where you wanna come up with it.
Bro, I don't even want to talk about it because, like, bro, I'm not doing this again, bro. Like, he did in the past 2 hours.
Didn't
Miami?
when he was in Utah?
We going Miami?
Utah, didn't it?
We gonna send what's an NBA team that would want Donovan?
If you want Miami
team,
Light,
every team in the NBA wants Donovan Mitchell.
I would say the Brooklyn Nets would be a good fit for him.
Nah, they need more. I don't like Donovan Mitchell for Brooklyn. The same reason why I don't like Donovan Mitchell for like New York. I don't think what he would bring to a roster is even necessary for what they need. Like I'm looking at Brooklyn. Literally, if you give Brooklyn a better than average passer and playmaker, like I'm not saying like better than average like Donovan Mitchell's level. I'm saying better than average like nigga, like they need I was saying it earlier this episode. They need a player like Bronny James who has the upside of being like one of the better passers in the league. They need that because they don't have anybody on that roster that can pass the goddamn ball to each other.
I think if you get Donovan Mitchell, you can you have the wing defense in DFS, Mikal Bridges. You have your bench scoring in Cam Thomas. You got your wing depth in Cam Johnson, I believe. Nick Claxton's going to be there to
I think Cam Johnson's probably leaving.
Even still, you could probably get something in the offseason. You get to let Mikal take on that second scoring option that he was in Brooklyn, and not Brooklyn, in Phoenix, that made him look so appealing to Brooklyn in the first place.
They still would need a point guard, and so
I think Donovan Mitchell can run the point guard though.
But first off, likelihood is if Donovan Mitchell's going to leave, he's not leaving off of like free agency. He's leaving because I think he got one more year, he got one more year, right? So I think he if he's leaving, it's via sign and trade. So what is like what you're imagining would be fine if Donovan Mitchell was a free agent, like a free agent, and he went there. True. But him getting traded, that means you're unloading assets to pair him alongside likelihood Mikal Bridges.
God, if we're trading in the Cavs want Tyler Hero, I'm furious, bro. Oh, that's so nasty. That's the
you
worst.
Could have got him a while ago.
And that's a terrible backcourt. Darius Garland,
DG and Tyler Hero.
Bro, that is amazing.
Nasty.
All right, Cleveland,
that's
dude.
Fucking garbage, bro.
Trust me, Cleveland. Darius Garland will get his number one ball handling role. Tyler Hero, I always say, him as an off-ball shooter is amazing. Him as your number one primary option for a whole game.
This is crazy pandering right now.
But I think he should go to the Pelicans, and you end up trading one of either Herb Jones or Trey Murphy, and you can let those other defenders on that team that just don't get play time because you have two really good wing defenders, just step up while you upgrade your offense and your playmaking around, and now have a team of BI, Zion, and Donovan Mitchell, alongside guard defenders like Dyson Daniels and Jose Alvarado that can help you out, and Larry Nance to space the floor. I think that's a really good team.
I want to, because I was actually thinking this as well. I don't know if the Heat even have the assets to get D Mitch and Max.
Man, fuck out of here.
Okay.
They're just too cheap, bro. They're not gonna do it, but they have the assets. They're just not gonna be willing to give them up.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, wrong for better or for worse. I think the only true options that can be able to give like a compelling trade offer for D Mitch is the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers. They're the only ones, bro, and it sucks. But like,
no, they're not.
I don't think the Knicks want. I don't think the Knicks want D Mitch right now.
I don't think the Knicks want him either. So that leaves the Lakers.
Aren't going to make that move. The Knicks won't make that move.
Why not?
I think we're gonna wait for a free agent.
Bro, they're not making that move.
What free agent is available in the next year?
I think we're gonna either wait for free agent or trade for Miguel.
Oh no! Oh, you're talking about the Knicks. I thought you were talking about the Lakers.
Oh hell no! They need to trade right now.
They need to trade now.
Oh no, the Lakers need to trade as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
the Lakers are Donovan Mitchell landing spot.
Yeah, the Lakers sound more like realistic. Salute to Moose Talks Hoops. Man, look, I kid y'all not, man. Y'all think I be joking when I say this, bro. He literally put me on the sun, and I thought about it, Moose, and I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's like it makes so much sense, bro. There's a lot of things on this planet that cost. One thing isn't that like button, bro. That like button free, man. You gotta press that like button, man. And the subscribe button. That's free too. And the subscribe button. And you might as well share it. That's free as well. And you might as well leave a comment as well. That's free too. That's free.
Justin, you keep promoting yourself. That block button free too, my boy.
That block, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Don't hit that. No, actually, you know what's crazy? That block button will cost. That block button will cost your sanity because I will come beat on your door. Damn. I will come beat on your door, bro. I don't care. I don't give a damn, bro. I lose respect for this. Need subscriptions. Anyway, I need subscriptions. Anyway, no, okay. So I wanna ask one last question before we move to the next one, because the next one actually just happened literally last night. JB Bickerstaff's job, is it safe or is it not safe?
I seen an article that during a preseason game or during a regular season game, Donovan Mitchell played 40-something minutes and they got into an argument about that. Like, they've been disliking how he plays them so much minutes. I saw the players lost respect for him. He seems like he's losing his job. It seems like it's just going to happen. Players don't respect him and the front office don't like him. But they wanted to give him a fair chance, unlike someone like, Adrian Griffin. Adrian Griffin, he probably could have proved himself if he got a fair chance, but at least they tried to give their coach their due diligence and honor his year. But yeah, he's gone. He's gone. And no matter what, Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell will be gone. So this time.
Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell?
No, Darius Garland or. Like,
okay.
It's literally confirmed. Like no matter what, one of them will be gone.
Rodney, what do you think? Is he safe or is he not safe?
I don't think he's safe. I mean, he did his best, honestly, but I just don't think it was enough to say that. Being that they put up like one game against Boston, and your defense didn't show up. I get it. Jared Allen wasn't really there, but the defense just didn't show up at all. And it was just the game plan just didn't work well for them to get buckets other than just Donovan Mitchell. But that wasn't like, it was all year long. They played well during the season, but we don't want to continue being in-season merchants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they need to find somebody that can actually push them over the top.
I mean, are we gonna act like injuries didn't play a?
Oh no, they did play a part, but you gotta rise up and keep going.
I think they kept going. I mean, the fact that they were what was it? They were a 4th seed this year. Given all the injuries that happened, Evan Mobley's injury, Donovan Mitchell's injury, Darius Garland injury, Jared Allen injury, like the fact that dealt with all of that and you still were a 4th seed in the Eastern Conference and you made it to the semifinals, I would say that's actually like that's nothing for you to just shake your head on and just say, nah, man, he got to get fired. Like I don't know where this thought has came from. Real quick, the chat is they actually giving a fair amount of opinions about this. JB, fire JB. Mad Max says he also said JB couldn't make two elite guards work. He got to go. I disagree. I mean, two elite bigs is a little bit of a stretch. Two great big, one elite defensive big and one very good big.
I mean,
but
sturdy.
He made it work. He made it work. They got to the second round. There's no way anybody thought that they were going to make it past the second round.
Okay,
so
I can't wait to get to 30 real quick.
And it's injured, and it's also injuries as well. But H30 says another black head coach fired for unreasonable motives. He then says JB don't get enough credit. Don't get enough credit for optimizing the roster while this team was dealing with injuries all year long. And then hold on. And then he said, "What? When did coaches get punished for not winning with an injured roster?"
Okay. Like I'm with you, but as we saw earlier this year, somebody fired their head coach, and he was winning.
Yeah. Then the thing is, like I said, the players seem like they lost respect for him, and the front office don't like him. If the players in the front office don't like you, who the fuck likes you?
Why can't he optimize the?
The Mad Max says. Yeah, read it one more time for me, Rod.
Why can't he optimize the roster when they're healthy?
How did he not optimize the Cleveland Cavaliers when they were healthy?
Optimizing is getting them out. If them getting eliminated in the first round last year, and then this year, then sure.
In the first. Are we gonna act like they didn't? It wasn't like Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland playing like very like a shell of himself, and then Isaac Okoro was the starting small forward, really their only small forward outside of Dean Wade. And we're gonna act like the pieces, low key, didn't completely fit. And the pieces didn't really fit this season either.
Are we gonna act like the only reason they got to the second round was because Franz Wagner was like having an out of body garbage experience?
Are we gonna act like the Cleveland Cavaliers didn't play a role in that?
No, because he was just a non-shooter. Like he couldn't hit his shots. That wasn't him for the entire season, and it wasn't because of their wing defense. I don't think anyone would say the Cavaliers have wing defense.
It's been Franz the whole season, but it's not him.
You don't think that Isaac Okoro or Max Strus played well defensively this year?
No. Max Strus is a wing defender on someone as elite offensively as Franz? No, I don't think that.
Okay, you think Franz is elite offensively?
As someone as good offensively as Franz, he's not good enough to stop him. Yeah, no.
Matt. I didn't say that Max Strus was playing like excellent D. I said good defense.
His defense
played well.
Is not. He can play well. His defense is not good enough to have the effect that it had on Franz. That was Franz. Is all I'm saying.
Franz had a poor year shooting this year. I don't know why it's weird.
Yeah. Same way we're not gonna say DG got guarded and that's why he played like this. No, he played like shit.
No. I'm not saying that they played a big role. I agree with you. I think Franz, he obviously did not play, to his standards. I think arguably because his style of play is sort of played into Cleveland's hands. I think he sort of resulted a little more into like shooting more shots rather than attacking and going towards the rim. Because one, and it didn't work out for him like it worked out for Paolo. Because one, I think Paolo's a much better mid-range shooter. And then two, I think Paolo is much more athletic around the rim than Franz. And so that's ultimately why Franz turned into a three-point shooter. So I think the personnel alone within the Cleveland Cavaliers sort of played a hand in Franz's play style, sort of switching more to a perimeter-oriented, play, which is why it didn't work out for him because he's not naturally taking that many shots around the perimeter. Like we understand.
That's fair.
Yeah. 30 says, Mad, when was this team fully healthy since Spider? Oh, he's talking to Mad Max. When was this team fully healthy since Spider got there? Mad Max says they ain't start playing good till they got hurt. Mad Max also said give the ball to D. Mitch is not optimized. H30 says, fun fact, the Cavs under JB since Spider came to the team was fully healthy, only 4 full months. He didn't say Mad Max. Was you the same guy who called for Finch job last year, even though the rules?
He got it, bro. He got it, bro.
Bro, pulling up receipts. He pulling up receipts. I don't know. Yeah, he pulling up receipts. You got it. You got
Mad Max, and that's the only thing niggas can get me on, bro. You got it, bro. You got it.
Yeah, he said, bro. Oh my God. He said versus the Knicks last year, versus the Nuggets last year. Mad Max says no. I've been a Chris Finch fan, man. And then he said the Cavs have no offense at all. It's horrible. You like the way I did that? He said the Cavs have no offense at all. It's horrible. No way you should have two good playmakers and the two bigs, and it's just straight D-Mitch.
No, I'm laughing because the niggas just gonna bring up my Finch takes. I admitted I was wrong.
I was watching.
You shouldn't have said nothing because I wasn't.
Nobody was gonna say anything, man.
I was watching. I was watching Cavs fans this offseason, or not offseason, this playoffs, over here crying about Georges Niang not hitting his shots. Like, the fact that that's what you're relying on to win you games is telling me everything I need to know about your franchise. When you have Darius Garland, D. Mitch,
yeah, I feel like they sped up. I think the Cavs low-key sped up their process a little too quickly. I felt like they were just fine the route that they were going. They made it into the play-in. They just didn't play well. I think you should have doubled down on that currently constructed roster because Dean Wade was coming into his own. I think Darius Garland was coming into his own, especially when Colin Sexton was going down with his injury. The opportunity he capitalized on to where he got his first ever All-Star nod. And so I just feel like they sort of sped up the clock on him. But I mean, we do have to call a spade a spade. I mean, like the personnel in any other like matchup outside of, matchups where their size has an advantage, like a significant advantage, which is like every series except for, the Boston Celtics, obviously, with their versatility. I think they go up against Giannis and the Bucks when healthy. I think they lose. Joel Embiid when healthy in the 76ers. Like outside of those specific like ramifications, I don't think like you were gonna look at them and say that, yeah, they're that far from the New York Knicks, or yeah, they're that far from who's another playoff team in it, or they're that far from the Indiana Pacers. And I don't think you're gonna look at them and say that. So like, I don't think that JB Bickerstaff did a terrible job. I think from the situation that he was in, I think he made some mistakes. I think definitely like relying on D Mitch that often. Like it proves to be a detriment in the long run. But when Darius Garland is playing at that way, like it's not like this is the first time where Darius Garland played like this. You do have to go with what's working, and D Mitch was working. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't. I feel like we're not going to see the problem with this team is their best play is when the other player is not on the court. When Evan Mobley is by himself, that is when we see Evan Mobley. When Darius Garland's by himself, that's when we see Darius Garland. And it just feels like there's so much redundancy on this team.
I mean,
that's the biggest problem. And is that a coaching issue? To some degree, I think it is. The way you play your team, the way your minutes are structured, etc. Yeah. But I think for the most part, it's going to be a personnel issue. And I don't think he needs to be fired. I think he probably will be fired just because, get that reset.
Yeah.
But my question is, so is this team better off with Finch as a head coach with Spida or with Darius Garland? Are they still making it this far?
Oh, at this point, like you've already made the trade for Donovan Mitchell. You can already watch, but no, they'll be better off for Donovan Mitchell.
I think they're better off for Garland. I think you can get more trade wise with Mitchell, and you can just go back. I don't think it's too late to go back to what you were building before.
You can. You traded you traded those picks. Like those picks is what got you Donovan Mitchell in the first place, because they didn't have they had some enticing pieces. Colin Sexton was part of that. Larry Markkinen also, but traded the picks that you traded. That was the true value, especially to a team that's trying to rebuild. And so,
but hear me out.
Now that you got Donovan Mitchell, you don't have Colin Sexton, you don't have Larry Markkinen, and you don't have those picks. you lose Donovan Mitchell, you basically signing up for. How are you going to trade him for the? You know more
not of the original package,
but Elijah, you know better. Elijah, you know better than anybody. Once you trade, once you have a star, you're never going to get like the value that star brings. You're not going to get that.
I agree. You don't need to get. I don't think you need to get what you got back for him.
Okay.
Let's think. When we think about those picks and how good that Cavs team was before they got Donovan Mitchell, they were gonna be a late playoff team if they just kept developing. If we're being honest, especially in this weaker East, they would have been in that spot where the Bulls were this year, or where the Hawks and the Heat were. That's where they would have been. So these picks wouldn't have been that high. They would have been late lottery picks to early 20s picks. I think you can get that back in a Donovan Mitchell trade right now. You can get late lottery 20s picks back. Maybe not. What didn't they trade like 4 of them?
I think they traded 4. They traded 4 of them along with Lauri Markkanen and
I think you can get 2. I think you can get 2 and get a player of like a Mikal standard, which is better than what you had in Lowry.
Like a Mikal Bridges.
In terms of like that quality of player, I think you can get that quality of player from two first round picks and that quality of player for a Donovan Mitchell right now.
Nah, I think you would say. I think if you traded Donovan Mitchell, you're trading him, and you want the draft compensation you got. I want the 4 first rounders, and the messed up part is that with the new CBA, that's not even able to happen. So
I don't think they need 4 first rounders. I think they have their stars.
Huh?
I think when it comes to first round picks, you're using them to get your stars. Otherwise, you're using them for role players. And I think you can get role players in the late lotteries and in the second round.
If you're a competent franchise, but are you?
The Cavs have drafted well for these past couple of years.
They drafted well for Darius Garland. They traded for that and Evan Mobley.
And then Dean Wade as well, that you said.
Dean Wade, I think, if I'm correct, Dean Wade has been here for about 7 years now. Dean Wade was there before LeBron left.
But that's still them drafting well. Like they were drafting well when LeBron was there. The problem was that he wasn't ready for a rebuild. They drafted Colin Sexton when LeBron was there.
I'm not trying to act like they're negative as far as like a front office. I'm just saying. I guess I made the mistake of saying they're a competent franchise would do that, as if they aren't. An exceptional, like a San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder, those type of franchises, they can find talent in like the late first, early second rounders. They can do that. Unless you're saying that Cleveland finna get lucky, they haven't typically been able to do that.
I think they have.
Does not happen that often. And so if I'm them, even if that is the case, you are then essentially, if you're Cleveland, you went all in to get Donovan Mitchell. It didn't work out for the past 2 years. So now you're going to basically say, okay, guys, rewind. We're going all the way back to the beginning, and we're going to suck for a couple years until we can go ahead and recoup and get back on our feet. That right there would work for Evan Mobley. That ain't working for Darius Garland. So Darius Garland gone.
No, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is they're going to end up being that 8th seed kind of team, still competing for playoff spots. And Darius Garland will now have that number 1 role that he would get if he went to another team. He wouldn't be a star player on a good team. So you're giving him that role that he would want by leaving. You're giving Evan Mobley that time to develop as a big man. You're most likely going to trade Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell in this. So you're able to get that wing and guard depth that you want alongside a couple of picks, most likely. So everything that you would want in terms of a retooling would be there for you if you trade Donovan Mitchell right now.
You can do the same with Garland, though. Like you're saying, the problem with Cleveland is their personnel. They have 2 point guards and 2 centers they're building around. So you trade
the problem
you
with
trade
that is
Garland, who's the worst player, for fit, and you keep the player with the higher peak, higher upside. Well, they just traded all of their future for Donovan Mitchell.
We gotta move on, guys. I want Evan Mobley to develop, and that's not going to allow him to develop. That's a win now situation because Donovan Mitchell's so old. He's like 28 now.
So Garland for BI. Elijah got motives. Anyway, all right, guys, we gotta move on. So 8:30.
Oh, did he move on? He moved up out of here, boy.
That man left. He was like,
Hey,
"We
my
moving on."
boy.
He was like,
Hey, I got it. My boy H30 moving on to the chats. My boy H30 said, "Oh yeah, I remember that take." Hey, fuck you, H30. You don't gotta remember nothing. You don't gotta remember nothing.
I was playing Spider-Man and GTA. Why was you playing both? And this man, hold on, that man's playing. Hold on, talking about that man's playing a child game, and he's also playing a game that. Oh no, this is just crazy. Oh,
That's
this
crazy.
is crazy. And this man said Chris Finch didn't improve as a head coach. Oh my God. Anyway, Mad Max says if they never made the trade, they would be in the same position as they is right now. I told you, Mark, you shouldn't have brought that up. That's on you. I ain't got shit to do with it.
No, I don't care, bro. You right
Anyway,
wrong about stuff.
Garrison A, salute, brother. Thank you so much for joining. We've gotten up so far to 10 viewers on YouTube. We've been staying consistent at 6 viewers on Twitter. Guys, make sure to say what's up to the viewers that's watching us on Twitter right now, or X, formerly known as Twitter.
GTA is not a game for everybody.
Shout out X, bro. Y'all are toxic over there. I love y'all.
Okay, man. Anyway, and shout out to the 8 viewers right now on YouTube. We appreciate you guys for watching us and continuing. If you have selected to press that like button, we appreciate you. If you haven't, fuck you, but please press that like button, please.
Dang.
Pretty please. If you do, Sturdy will invite you to play GTA with him online. Anyway, he said, "Don't judge me. First of all, GTA is a game for all ages, sir, except for the ones that are under 13. It's 13 plus, bro. You have to know that.
That's not all ages.
That's not everybody.
That's not all ages.
That ain't E for everyone.
It ain't E for everyone. Absolutely, 1000%. But we gonna run through these real quick. Second round playoffs. Big Luka. I said Big Luka.
Why you have to put him Big Luka?
Big Luka. You know what I'm saying? They came out of this series unscathed, man. I thought they were gonna be up out of here by the second round. I had OKC winning in 7. I was wrong. I'll admit it. Shout out to Brandon. Dallas being his team. You know what I'm saying? He was rooting for him all along. What were you guys' thoughts about how Game 6 went down?
I'm happy it was an exciting ending. That ending had me on the edge of my seat. But hey, Luka was healthier than I thought he was gonna be this series, which is a good thing because Luka being healthy means that the healthier and better team won. And we about to have a very fun conference finals matchup with Luka being in there again. Is this the last 2 times he's made the playoffs? He's been in the conference finals, or did they get eliminated?
Yes, you're absolutely right. He didn't make the playoffs in 2023, and 2022, he made the conference finals, and this year he made the conference finals as well.
Yeah, we are in a new era, bro. We are the oldest star player left right now is 26.
Jayson Tatum.
Jayson Tatum has the most playoff.
Salute to Miss Tiffany Ned. See, I told you I know basketball. I'm glad you came over here, man. Please make sure you I kid y'all not. We was on crossover one day, and I was talking about I forget what I was talking. I think I was talking about like Phoenix Suns or versus Timberwolves. It was doing that series. And she literally put in the chat, it broke my heart, y'all. She said I didn't know basketball. She said you don't know ball. And I was like,
you don't.
Say it again.
I'll never forget that.
Do it again.
I'll never forget that.
Because he sure don't know football.
Well, we know that he don't know football, which is awkward.
I've already admitted that I don't know football. What? Like what?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know college basketball.
They just threw hate at me for no reason. Grow up. Anyway, anyway. Oh, I want to come to you, Rodney. Is this Mavs team really a threat to go to the finals against the Timberwolves?
I think that with their scrappy defense that they've been playing this playoffs, they have an opportunity. But the Timberwolves just look tough, and if they're still hot, it's going to be a tough road the whole time. I still think with Kyrie and Luka, they're going to give you 1, maybe 2 games. They could pull it off. I would not be surprised if Luka said, I've just woken up. My bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, me personally, I feel like the Timberwolves, the same way we got into it earlier, Elijah, about the Indiana Pacers and the Boston Celtics. I feel like the same thing applies to the Minnesota Timberwolves in this series, right? Like if I am sold on the Boston Celtics' versatility defensively, their consistency on the perimeter defensively, I mean, I sort of gotta stay packed with Timberwolves, right?
You don't think that the Timberwolves have the defensive?
No, I didn't say that. No, I'm saying I feel that way about the Boston Celtics.
Okay. Yeah. I think the Timberwolves are going to, because when Luka's most effective is when he's in that post range. He's in that post and he's able to be effective there. Gobert is gonna be there, bro, and he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Like that threat of Luka just blowing by you and getting his bucket is not gonna be as heavy as it would be in another series. And that's what I'm mostly worried about in terms of the Mavericks moving on. But I think Luka's. Is it weird to say Luka's like an old head, and when it comes to the playoffs now, bro, like
he play like Mar. He play like Mar, bro.
No, he doesn't. I'm not giving Mar that credit.
No, bro. He play
I'm not
like
giving Mar that
Mar,
credit.
Bro.
Absolutely
bro,
not.
He get the
not giving Mar that credit.
He get the ball, and he gets to like that mid-range area. And he just shoot a floater. Like, he just like a crazy ass. Like,
or he'll sit there in the 3-point in the corner, throwing the ball.
Like,
I don't shoot the ball.
Like, but why did you shoot that? And it goes in. And
it don't go in.
And then Luka looks at you, and then Mar looks at you like,
Rodney, you gotta play with us some more, bro.
I dare you to say something. It'd be crazy.
I'll be saying it the whole time. No. Don't you shoot that.
We're missing that big old shiny head on the court, man. We need you back on.
Yeah. I put hair on it though.
Yeah, we missing Mr. Condom on the head, bro.
I got the mohawk.
Oh my! We missing the hair implants, bro. We need you back.
Got to. Tell you.
Chet, I want y'all to know we went bald for Rodney, bro. We went bald,
and I absolutely didn't do it. Absolutely not.
Look, that's crazy. We went bald for Rodney, and Rodney showed up to the gym with hair.
That's did.
That's Toupee Tatum right there, bro.
All day.
Toupee Tatum.
All motherfucking day. Let's go.
Anyway, Sturdy says Luka dealing with his injuries is going to have a hard time with the physical defenders of the Wolves. And I agree. I think if there was ever a situation that isn't ideal for Luka, see, I had the Nuggets beating the Timberwolves, which we're going to get into that up next. But I had Luka going up against the Denver Nuggets. I had him tearing that defense to shreds because the perimeter defense is nothing like the Timberwolves, nor is the rim protection at the rim. And so I had Luka just getting into the post. He didn't have to, even with him having knee and shoulder injuries, he didn't have to do that much. All he had to do was be in the post for him to prove himself to be effective. Bro, when I say I'm looking at him versus the Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels, first of all, he's going up against Luka. That's the best matchup on the perimeter. But even if Luka out-muscles Jaden McDaniels and get into the post, Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns is playing some of the best like defensive tandem, rim protection basketball that I've seen in a long time. I'd argue you haven't seen this defensive dominance since Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard in the 2020 postseason. Like the way that they're as a tandem.
AD and Vando?
AD and Van? Well,
AD and Vando was insane when they were both healthy.
Okay, I can see that. That's fine. But even still, I'm looking at it, and it's just I'm looking at Luka. If he's not healthy, and he's not, it just becomes that much harder. You're going even more reliant on Kyrie, and I think even more this series than the last two series. Man, you thought PJ Washington's like 22 a game during last series was needed.
Oh, it's gonna be necessary.
That's gonna be necessary this series.
They're gonna need that because they're just so undersized, bro.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna go against like 7'2" Gobert, and their tallest big is 6'10".
Yeah.
Like they're gonna. Oh man.
Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns are literally gonna they're gonna replicate what they did to the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, that has to be the game plan.
And the Wolves will never not have a spacing 4 on the court because Naz Reid can come in there and shoot the ball as well.
Yeah,
and I think Anthony Edwards is going to be the main thing in this. I think his defense is going to look insane this series just because of how physical he's going to be able to be with Kyrie.
Yeah.
He's got the athleticism to keep up with them. He's got the physicality to keep pushing them and making them work for everything. That's going to be a problem.
What do you got to say now, bro?
I'm just no. I'm not trying to know Elijah. You wouldn't know Daryl, Rodney. Elijah was not here earlier for the Edwards defensive talks, right? Man,
he was trying to make it okay. So just to give some context to you, Chad.
No, Elijah
what he tried to do was he tried to make it seem like Ja Morant was a floor spacer, so that he could buffer Anthony Edwards' defensive impact even more. And that's
Jimmy Butler's not in the playoffs. He needs a Jimmy Butler.
No. He was saying Anthony Edwards was elite at on both ends of the ball, mainly because of his scoring. And I was saying, well, we're looking at when are we going to start to treat Anthony Edwards like we're treating Jayson Tatum? You have a ultra talented defensive unit. Offensively, I have no questions about his scoring ability, right?
Yeah.
But people are giving him credit for the defense, on Mar was making it seem like Anthony Edwards is this super impactful defender, and it's hold on now. We act like he hasn't had Jaden McDaniels next to him. We act like Rudy Gobert hasn't been here, and then he went to 2022, and I'm like,
he didn't look like this.
Ja Morant, was Ja Morant a floor spacer? And he was he was trying to duck that question. I'm like, Ja Morant isn't a floor spacer, so the task that Anthony Edwards had on Ja Morant was not the same as, a player that has those real responsibilities against a Stephen Curry or something like that. Anthony Edwards hasn't had to go up against those players. So you're trying to add that level of impact to him when he hasn't showcased it. Granted, because he hasn't had to showcase it. That's not fair to him. That's not fair to people that don't believe that he's that, that he's that dude just yet. Because there's limitations to his game, but because he's on the roster that he's on, they get masked. It's very similar to Jayson Tatum's situation.
The reason that the Grizzlies series was brought up is that was a series where he didn't have the same level of defenders he had around him, even though they're the same names. They weren't the same level. And he was the one who I remember took the task of guarding Ja Morant. And I was saying, yes, it was a while ago. But since it was a while ago, we both could agree he's gotten even better. So
he did.
That was just to say that. He is a very much positive on that side of the ball. It's not to say he's the greatest ever. No. But he is a positive.
Yes,
he absolutely. He's more than positive. He's above average defense. I won't even say above average.
Yeah, he's more than average. He's a good defender.
He's a good defender.
Very good defender. Very good defender. Yeah. All I'm saying
is
when he just said right there,
McDaniels and Gobert.
Yeah. What he just said right there, he didn't say those things. He was making it seem as if
but we were arguing
be this way with or without Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels being there. That's my point. That's all. That's my point.
We were arguing. We weren't considering each other's points. That's just how
I was considering. I kid you not. I kid you not, Elijah. I asked him multiple times, was Ja Morant a floor spacer? For two reasons. One, because obviously that if he's not that good of a floor spacer, the defensive pressure that you have to put on that player on the perimeter is not that much required. And so then thus you get to benefit a little more on your back line, right?
Yeah.
2, I wanted to ask that because I wanted to see if Mar was going to be truthful. He said that Ja Morant was a floor spacer, and that's when I kicked him from the thing because he lied.
No, the thing about it though is we looked at the next series against the Warriors where he averaged 38 points per game when Ja Morant wasn't being guarded by Anthony Edwards. A week later, he averaged 21 when Anthony Edwards was the primary.
In the Warriors series, when there's no longer an elite rim protector in the paint to like.
The thing is, though, Elijah. The thing is, though,
that was before Rudy Gobert got there.
That's why we went to this series. That's why I went to this series.
That's why he went to that specific series.
Even.
So we're talking about 2022,
2022, where even if Karl Anthony Towns is not a good rim protector,
Vandal was the rim protector.
It's not like they didn't rely on Jared Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they didn't.
So you had Jaden McDaniels, you had Jared Vanderbilt, who are both very versatile guards. I'm not looking at D'Lo for defense.
No, I was just naming who on the team and Patrick Beverly.
That's a good defensive team. That's just Cat. Once again, that's just Cat.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. If you think that because the way that this whole topic started, we were talking about Anthony Edwards and his where he was going to be, and he said if Anthony Edwards wins a championship, he's going to be closer to Giannis's level. And I said that's ludicrous. That's idiocy.
Yo, what the fuck?
Like he said he would be closer to Giannis. And I'm like, you're acting. He said something along the lines of during the postseason and Giannis's scoring, Giannis's scoring ability
starts to more ways to space the floor than 3-point shooting. But when you have the ball in your hands, if we're talking about if we're talking about on-ball defense in terms of spacing the floor, we're no longer talking about your scoring gravity. We're talking about how you were able to score the ball when you're being guarded by a one-on-one defender in Anthony Edwards. Is he scoring from the perimeter? No, he's not. Not consistently, at least. So in terms of your defensive, in terms of your point of attack, defensive assignment, what are you looking at? You are not looking at the perimeter scoring because if he's going to only shoot from the perimeter and try to get his shot creation on the perimeter, then you won as a defender.
And you know what's funny? And you know what's funny, Sage? Marv made that same argument because he heard me. Because Elijah, he heard me on you guys' show. Up the Score. Please make sure to go and check them out. He heard me on your show, right? He heard me say that Zion Williamson has this weird thing where he can still space the floor even with him not being a 3-point shooter, right? Mm-hmm. I then clarify. You're absolutely right. There's more ways to space the floor than just 3-point shooting. That being said, though, Zion Williamson, especially around the time that I was talking about Zion being a floor spacer without being able to shoot the 3, he was finishing at like
Ja Morant level
rate. Like he was, especially when I was talking. I think we were talking about him in his like second or third season. I was talking about how historic that nigga was finishing.
Zion's
finishing at such a rate. Yes, you space the floor because of the fear of don't give him a head of steam to the rim.
Ja Morant.
I think that also
works. Does not force that same level of gravity. Not to the same degree as Zion.
He does it in a different way though. But yes.
I also think that Zion's off-ball ability is what makes him a lot more of a spacer than Ja Morant because you have to worry about the cuts, you have to worry about him being that physical player.
That is true.
Without the ball in his hands. While Ja Morant, a lot of his creation comes with the ball in his hands. So therefore, you can just wait for him to have the ball in his hands more often than not for him to be able to create the shot.
You could leave Zion open. You could do the same with Ja Morant, but he's going to knock him down more.
The problem is Zion's such a lob threat. He's a lob threat. He's a cut threat. Like when he has the ball in his hands, if you leave him open, he's going to have that head of steam to bully you in the paint.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Zion, in terms of his physicality, makes him a better spacer.
I think they are. I think John Morant.
And so the way that Anthony Edwards was able to guard John Morant, especially around that time, John Morant, the last like 2 postseasons that he's been in. Well, is it 2 or 3?
1.5 because he didn't even play last year for him.
Yeah, the last 2.5, he's over time developed and became more comfortable. Forcing the defense to have to pay attention to him. But even in his best series shooting wise, outside of the paint, which was the Los Angeles Lakers series, even then they were willing to deal with him shooting from the perimeter as long as he's not putting pressure on the rim like that.
Yeah.
And so in the Timberwolves series, and I told him like we can literally go back and watch that all together. Yeah. The way that Anthony Edwards, the way that Jaden McDaniels when he got opportunities, the way that Patrick Beverley guarded him when he had opportunities, they weren't putting like that. I won't say like they weren't putting pressure, but they weren't putting that level of pressure that you're alluding to. They weren't putting that level of pressure on Ja because they prefer for him to shoot.
Of course.
To the rim.
Of course.
Okay, so that's all I was saying. Anthony Edwards defensively, I don't think you can put him you can't put him on the level of Giannis because defensively, the impact that he is putting forth
isn't close.
It's not close. It's not close.
I'm saying if Edwards was to win a ring, you're wrong if you don't think that he's close to him. Like
no, you're not. He's not. No, you're wrong.
You're wrong. This is no. This is the same bullshit you try to do with Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid. This is the same bullshit you did, like last year, bro. When you tried to say that Jimmy Butler was better because of the playoffs. So It's not nothing new. Anthony Edwards is just it's just your new Jimmy Butler this year because
I get
at least I'm consistent, I guess, bro. At least.
Yeah, this is crazy. Anyway, Sturdy says Ant, Spider, and Booker are all on the same tier. I think we all agree with that, right?
Yeah, if each one of those guys was to win a ring, they'd be
okay. And you know what's crazy?
If each one of those guys were to win a ring, their play would have to improve.
Elijah,
exactly.
I didn't know that Mar was disreliant on like team success.
He's the Heat fan.
Bingo. Okay, you're right. I'll shut up. My fault.
Damn.
Sage says
also I wouldn't let nobody talk to me like that.
Also, we're gonna respect Kyrie's playmaking. I'll respect Kyrie's playmaking as soon as you respect what Giannis brings to the table. Anyway, we got one more series that we need to talk about, and that involves the player that we just got into a battle about. The Minnesota Timberwolves. They came back down 20 in the third quarter to the Denver Nuggets, and they put on a clinic from that point forward. I'm gonna come straight to you, Elijah. Mm-hmm. Where did the Denver Nuggets go wrong?
Third quarter. The third quarter.
The Denver Nuggets got Denver Nuggets, bro. I don't know what else to say other than that. It was a very Denver Nuggets-esque way to lose.
Yeah.
It was a fun way to see them lose.
The Denver Nuggets so quickly became like this hated team. It's so funny to me.
Yeah, I don't understand. Bro, it feels so Golden State Warriors-ish.
Like, the only players you have to have a problem with is Jamal Murray, because everybody else don't talk. They don't say nothing.
No. Here's the thing. It's not Jamal Murray, yes, is one, but also head coach. He's a piece of shit. Like, I fucking hate him.
That's fair. Mike Malone
do be saying some stuff that be
bro, he be saying the most unnecessary shit in the world, especially like after you beat the Lakers and you still talking shit, even though you already proved you can beat them, and you still gonna talk shit when they're out the playoffs about them. Like, it makes no sense.
By the way, he is a Lakers fan.
He's right. He's right though. Jokic just be out here riding horses and playing basketball, and y'all over here just like, I'm so glad he lost. I'm like, damn.
He don't care that he lost. He don't ride his damn horse. He don't care.
Yeah, he chilling. Bro gonna go bring his third MVP, put it somewhere in his suitcase, and forget about it. Like,
Rodney, help me out. Where do you see Don't say the third quarter.
Dude, it's
where do you
I'm telling you, it's the third quarter because we were on the phone.
But
we were on the phone, and I sat here and was looking like these motherfuckers ain't scored in like 7 minutes.
But you know what's crazy? That was a common theme throughout this entire postseason. Like if y'all remember, the main reason why they got into big holes against the Lakers during that series was because they were cold.
So Jamal Murray went cold.
I'm gonna say this. So
Jamal Murray.
Quarter, first off, going into halftime, Ant was cold.
Yeah.
It wasn't up until the third quarter where the defense ramped up for Minnesota. They got a couple of steals, and one of those steals was Ant, and he just over here doing highlight reel dunks. He finally got points on the board. He felt more comfortable. He felt back in the game. He wasn't shooting well. He wasn't playing well. But the rest of the team was still able to keep them afloat until he was able to get back into it. And by that time, they were already hot.
It's the privilege of defense, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Allen Iverson. No help, but it's cool.
Yeah, they
28 in the third quarter. It's no bueno.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I just want to say this for the record, because this is gonna be forgotten about, because nobody cares about this Nuggets team, or they hate the Nuggets team now, I guess.
I don't.
Shout out Aaron Gordon, bro. That man was playing like Superman out there, and it's gonna get forgotten about because they lost.
It's not gonna get forgotten because even even commentators are saying, why are we not putting the ball in Aaron Gordon's hand, who's been playing so well? Jamal Murray is not playing well. The ball has to go to somebody else. KCP wasn't even shooting well. Caldwell Pope didn't have a lot of shots. You were just playing 2-man game, and it worked, but until it didn't, and you didn't make an adjustment.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, Jamal Murray better not be in no more conversations with guys like De'Aaron Fox. He better not be in no more conversations with Trae Young. He better not be in no more conversations with Tyrese Halliburton, LaMelo Ball. He better not be in no more conversations with guys even.
He can still be in conversations with LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball,
no, he cannot. No.
Yes, he can.
Because I'm gonna tell you this. I understand Jamal Murray was hurt this postseason for most of this postseason. I even understand that he needed to take on more of a scoring aggression because he wasn't able to, use his athleticism because it was obviously compromised. So he couldn't be able to make the plays that he typically would make for players like Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. But that's why you put the ball in the fucking hands of the dude that's actually doing something for you guys. Aaron Gordon, for most of this series, a large reason of why they even were able to come back from being down 0-2 was due to Aaron Gordon being able to essentially capitalize on the gravity that Nikola Jokic was bringing around the rim. A large reason why they were able to go up 3-2 in this series was because Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic had a good thing going as far as their 2-man game, which allowed Jamal Murray to even get the opportunity to take on more opportunities as a scorer. Michael Porter Jr. included, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, and before you know it, you end up playing Denver Nuggets basketball that we all come to know as the most efficient brand of basketball in the league, especially in the postseason. But then we come into game seven, and Jamal Murray just thinks that this nigga's Kobe at this point.
I think the problem is the last time that the Nuggets faced adversity, he had to be Kobe. When they were going down 3-1 in 2020, which is the last time they really were like he was healthy and they were down.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be Kobe. He had to ball up, average 30 points a game down there, and be that and play hero ball.
But right now he didn't have to.
But you didn't have to do that. And as a top player, especially if you're at the point guard position, it's even more critical for you to realize that.
But he hasn't done that yet. That's what I'm saying. This was the year. For me, this was the year that the Nuggets faced like real adversity as a team. This was their year. This was their hardship year. And I think they're going to be better as a unit because of it. Because I don't see this unit splitting up after this year.
But this is not the first time that they faced adversity. Jamal Murray was there when they faced adversity, when they had to come back 3-1 2 times in a row.
Playing hero ball, the ball he just played just now.
He was not. No. Because we're rewriting history. He capitalized on what the offense found, which was Nikola Jokic and Jeremy Grant.
In
he
2020.
capitalized on those opportunities, which forced the defense to have to shift to focus more on what Nikola Jokic, Jeremy Grant, and I'm forgetting the gentleman's name, Gary Harris, what they were doing. When Jamal Murray is at his best, is when he's able to take players on one-on-one. He was trying to take on 2 at a time. The best defense in the league?
That's what he was doing last year.
That's what he was doing this year too.
And was people hold on? And even if he was doing it last year, were we comfortable with him doing that?
Yes, because he was hitting his shots.
Then I wasn't part of those.
So you're comfortable when he was hitting his shots, but if he's not hitting his shots, then what?
That's what
as a coach. That's what you live with. A change and adjustment.
Then that's a coaching problem. But I'm not blaming. That's what I'm blaming. That's what I would blame a coach on. I wouldn't blame a player on that because that's what volume scorers do. So they take those shots.
I'm blaming. I was about to get to blaming Mike Malone.
Yeah, I would blame Mike Malone for that more than I would blame Jamal Murray.
The reason why I started with Jamal Murray is 1, get the guys hyped, and then 2, Jamal Murray has been, especially over getting into the postseason, especially after what he did, hitting 2 game-winning shots against the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of people were ready to put them in conversations to where, shout out to Up the Score again. We came out with a short where I was asked who Jamal Murray was better than. They asked me, was he better than Trae Young? They asked me, was he better than De'Aaron Fox? They asked me, was he better than Damian Lillard? They asked me, was he better than DeJounte Murray? They asked me, was he better than, am I forgetting? Oh, Darius Garland. I think the only player that I said that I feel comfortable saying Jamal Murray is better than was Darius Garland. Everybody else, I said he is not better than. They asked me, was he better than James Harden? I said no. Like every question. And the chat or the comment section made it seem as if I was crazy. Oh yeah, they asked Kyrie. They asked Kyrie as well. I said Kyrie's better. And
I disagree with James Harden.
And the comment section said everybody but Kyrie. And the comment section said everybody but Kyrie. Jamal Murray is not better than. And this right here is why, because the skill set, or not even the skill set, but the ability to utilize your skill set, or the ability to know that my skill set isn't, as impactful in this series of all series, we should probably go what's worked for us to even get a 3-2 lead in this series. That's why he can't be better than those guys for me. Because if I'm looking at the players that you guys named, the De'Aaron Fox, the Trae Youngs, the DeJounte Murrays, who am I forgetting? The Kyrie Irving.
DeJounte in the playoff setting?
Huh? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Against the Boston Celtics. In the moment that he saw, he played well. In the moment that he saw how exactly the Boston Celtics defense was shifting every time Trae Young had the ball, he decided to capitalize in that mid-range because he knew that Trae Young. Well, we have an Atlanta Hawks fan here. Rodney can attest to it. DeJounte Murray just played fantastic. Well, not fantastic, but he played great in that Boston Celtics series.
I think he can also attest to the fact that when it comes to volume scores like a Trae Young as well, when they're not hitting their shots, that shit looks ugly.
It looks ugly. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When Trae Young was struggling against the Philadelphia 76ers, he had playmaking. He had his his transcendent playmaking and passing to be able to rely on. So that's why Trae Young's not even in this conversation.
Trae Young's better than Jamal, but I'm just talking about as volume scorers that take wild shots. Scorer. When they're not hitting it, it looks ugly, but I still wouldn't ask them to stop shooting them because I know what you are and I know what you're on this team to do.
If I have other options or other ways that not only I believe, but it's been proven in this specific series that they can be able to go to, I'm then going to do that, which leads me to Mike Malone.
As a coach, I'm not going to say it couldn't. As a Aaron head coach, Gordon, it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me, Elijah. As a head coach, I'm not going into a game 7 with this team that feels like a transcendent type of defense and saying, Aaron Gordon, I need you to shoot 50+% from the 3 this game. Aaron Gordon.
Nobody's saying that.
He didn't have to. He didn't have to do that.
Saying that.
He didn't have to do that.
That's what he was doing for a couple games in the series. I believe it was like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, but that's not. But him shooting 50% from the 3-point line was not the part that we're talking about made them actually go up 3-2 against the Timberwolves. It's him benefiting in the dunker spot specifically, capitalizing on that gravity. Jokic would get the ball when Jamal Murray actually was passing the goddamn ball. He would get the ball to Jokic at the top of the free throw line. Rudy Gobert, knowing how lethal Jokic's floater ability would step up, which would then leave the dunker spot open for either Jokic to throw a lob or for Aaron Gordon to just catch the ball and easily put it up.
Okay.
That's literally all that they could have that they were running that got them up 3-2 in the first place. Tell me how many times you saw that in this game 7.
I didn't see it as much, but I feel like the Timberwolves also honed in on it more.
How did they hone in? How did they hone in on it when the Nuggets didn't even give it an attempt?
But let's not.
I feel like you should look at it, them not giving attempts, as them recognizing, because Jokic is a smart enough passer and playmaker. I hope we can all agree to say, I can see the defense shifting in this direction to not give me the shot. I'm not gonna pass that. So them not passing.
Jokic deserves some blame too. I'm glad that you.
He do. I'm about to say it.
He does.
Jokic needs to take some blame too because he went 2 for 10.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He went 2 for 10 from 3, and he wasn't playing. He got beat up, and he was complaining entirely too much. In my opinion, I think when he starts complaining more, they get off track of what they do. So both of them shooting terribly from 3, which didn't help them. And most of that was probably from the fucking third quarter. And just the whole team crumbling because they weren't consistent together. And Mike Malone not making a change, saying, hey, Aaron Gordon, I need you to step up a little bit. I mean, Aaron Gordon took 5 shots.
I feel like Bruce Brown was very missed in this series.
Agreed.
A guy like Bruce Brown who could have given some microwave offense off the bench to really get the team going.
I mean, their bench didn't help them at either. Their bench did not help them.
I think we said that. We said that during the offseason, didn't we?
Yeah, you did, and I thought
we went back and forth. I think we went. Did we not go back and forth with Zeno? Shout out to Zeno, by the way. He couldn't be here, but I think we went back and forth with Zeno because Bruce Brown. Damn, Daryl. We went back and forth because we were saying that them losing Bruce Brown, that's an extra ball handler coming off the bench that you're gonna miss. That's another player that puts pressures around the rim that you're gonna miss. Shout out to Jeff Green as well. I think that they missed Jeff Green as well because I think that would have helped them with some rebounding as well. Nikola Jokic had 19 rebounds and they still got out rebounded.
Yeah. There was times where it really felt like it was just Jokic having to do everything because KCP wasn't hitting it. MPJ, you can't give MPJ the ball
because you ain't getting it back.
You're not getting it back.
He's jacking them up.
Aaron Gordon is so reliant on Jokic's creation to where Jokic is still just doing everything. And Jamal Murray was not Jamal Murray in this series to the point. Like I can't expect anything more. You see it a lot from Luka as well. When Luka doesn't have his teammates going, he just shoots threes. He just chucks them up, and that's what it felt like Jokic was doing.
Yeah, Jokic was just trying to get back in the game, and he wasn't getting it. Yeah. My bad, Mark. Go ahead.
I said Jokic shot very poorly from 3 this playoffs. He shot like I don't even know. It was at least maybe below 30% from the playoffs this year. He actually had a good amount of volume. He just wasn't knocking them down. If he knocked down some of his threes in the series, he could have also been the thing that helped the Nuggets win. He doesn't have no blame in it. Also, he does have some blame. Got knocked down your threes. Last year, he was shooting at a 40% clip, and they were unbeatable because of that.
Yeah. Casual. I'll say this. This goes back to my point about Luka and the Timberwolves earlier. This is exactly the kind of reason I think that the Timberwolves, have a chance to just let Luka like do what he needs to do and just stop everybody else, because you end up with games like this where Jokic just seemingly forced to do everything. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how good he looks or doesn't look on the court, they're not winning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you. And to go back to the Nuggets and Timberwolves series, a large reason why I feel like he didn't shoot that effective. And shout out to Sturdy because he alluded to it. Wolves did a great job exploiting Joker's weak interior defense. And more to take it a step further, the Timberwolves did what a lot of old heads have been, saying that needed to be done to exploit the Denver Nuggets offense. You had to make Joker work on the defensive end. Joker, I think, was being put in a lot more actions than people realize.
Yeah, he was.
Joker had to move a lot on the defensive end, more than I feel like he's comfortable with. Definitely more than I think he's comfortable with. And I think when you come over to the offensive side, a lot of those shots that he was putting up, you said during this game 7, like he was just looking around, and if he has to do all of that, similar to Luka, he just settles for a 3-point shot. I think he was gassed.
Oh no,
he didn't want to bang down low with Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns and Nas Reed and have Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards pecking at his post dribble. And he just said, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with that. I'm going to just take this 3. You know what I'm saying? And I think you do that enough times at a few possessions, and you know what I'm saying? This is what you get. I don't really think Nikola Jokic deserves a ton of the blame, but for game 7 specifically, he did not bring forth his best effort, granted due to him getting beat down for the majority of this series. And so, like, I'm if I had to break down a piece of pie, Jokic probably gets about like 10% of the blame. Mike Malone gets about 45% of this shit.
Facts.
And Jamal Murray gets about a good 30. Because especially and then obviously the others get the rest of the chunk, because at some point we do have to look at the supporting cast. Christian Braun, there's no reason why you should be this ineffective. At this point, they literally let Bruce Brown go because, you know what I'm saying, Christian Braun showed flashes of being able to be that backup piece that could be able to sort of help them wherever they needed to be helped, like Bruce Brown did last postseason.
Yeah,
like it was crazy, but
I think they expected a lot more from Peyton Watson as well. They cheated. Nothing was there.
Well, did you think Peyton Watson got the opportunities? I mean, we talked about this last year about how Mike Malone. So when he shrinks the rotations, he shrinks the rotations.
No, because
he only went about 8 people, dog. He
go look at last year. Christian Braun wasn't really playing. He earned his minutes when he started off with low minutes, and he played so well that he got more minutes in later stretches of the series. And
but I think that's an exception. I'm talking about Mike Malone's tenure as a head coach for the Denver Nuggets, especially from 2019 onward. Anytime, like whoever he's rocking with going into the postseason, he typically stands back on them. Like, he's not bringing in extra people. I think Christian Braun was the exception, but that again, I think that's why they had no problem giving up on Bruce Brown, because Christian Braun played so well that he was the exception.
Yeah. I don't feel like he was an exception more than he was just like right time, right place, right place, right time.
Right place, right time.
And Peyton Watson was supposed to be that. Like, they needed Peyton Watson. They needed him in terms of what he provides.
They needed that extra floor space in the ball handler.
Yeah, that's what they needed. And so him stepping up, even to a not even to the degree that Christian Braun stepped up last season, but just even like shooting at 37% on good enough volume would have gotten him a roster, would have gotten some minutes. He just didn't do that.
I'm gonna disagree with Sturdy real quick. It wouldn't have mattered if Brown was in the fourth quarter or not. He only shot 1 for 3. The only thing he did was hit free throws. He really wasn't helping.
Yeah, but I think that's a testament to him putting pressure around the rim. So I can't say, because especially the second half, like Rodney said earlier, I wasn't watching it. We were sort of just talking about it. They were sort of feeding me in on like the information that was happening. But I mean, even still, Christian Braun's floor is not really known as like a floor spacer. So unless like y'all seen something this series that I haven't, I don't really see because I feel like the main problem for the Denver Nuggets in this series, the 3-point shooters weren't shooting. Like Michael Porter Jr. was off this series. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has been off a lot
of it. 2 postseasons.
The whole
Jamal Murray
was a negative. Bro.
Yeah, Jamal Murray really since the postseason began, especially because he's dealing with his injury. I have to clarify that, especially because he's dealing with an injury. He hasn't been much of a floor spacer. He's been having to up the volume just to justify the efficiency, and so like I don't know. He said, "Nah, Bron can't hit the ocean on a boat." That's crazy.
None of them was hitting nobody else.
Christian Bron gets Jose Alvarado points. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's not. Yeah, that's not the kind of thing.
Talk about it, but and then obviously, like at some point you got to figure out what you're gonna do with Reggie Jackson. I don't know why Reggie Jackson's still on this roster.
No, Reggie Jackson cool.
Get that nigga off the floor. That nigga played 5 minutes. That nigga averaged 5 minutes for this season.
Exactly, bro. Let him chill. Let him be.
If that's the
DeAndre
case,
Jordan can be here. He can be here too.
You can't have you can't have a DeAndre Jordan and a 6'3" DeAndre Jordan. You can't do that.
DeAndre Jordan. I mean,
you can't do that.
He ain't even play DeAndre.
Yeah, you ain't even like, bro. Come on, bro.
Not DeAndre Jordan, but Reggie Jackson. When I watched him, he was bro. Reggie Jackson does Reggie Jackson things. He's cool. Who I think they could possibly move on from. I don't know how you do it. I don't know what you do. I'm not the GM. Is Michael Porter Jr. If you want to make a trade,
bro, you keep trying to push this bullshit.
Do you just want Michael Porter Jr. on the Heat or something? Why do you keep pushing this?
He's been pushing this trade for a while.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the only way.
Bro, you know that
Jamal Murray,
multiple pods.
Jamal Murray, he's a lock.
Bro, he been on multiple pods talking about some. Bro, you know who they should trade?
Bro's doing this cross company, bro. Cross
Look, Jamal Murray, he's a lock. Nikola Jokic, he's a lock. I love how Aaron Gordon fits. I want to keep him.
KCP's getting the fuck out of here. I'll be honest.
KCP and
KCP I don't think KCP should go anywhere. What do you switch him out for?
I said I'm not a GM, bro. I tapped out to that. I did.
Bro's turning into Andre Roberson in the playoffs. That's not a viable.
Is that the worst thing if Michael Porter Jr. Because like we can't act like Michael Porter Jr. typically does not show up on the
KCP.
No. What I'm saying is if KCP turns into Andre Roberson, but Jamal Murray typically is giving you floor spacing. Michael Porter Jr. is typically giving you floor spacing. Jokic is typically giving you floor spacing. The only non-floor spacer on the team is Aaron Gordon, but he's so good at the dunker spot. Like, is it the worst thing that KCP stands out there?
Aaron Gordon's a floor spacer. Fight me.
Are there not just so many 3-and-Ds in the league that like you're just willing to give
bro? Oh my god, bro. Bro, that just brought me PTSD, bro. I just had a flashback, bro. Episode 1. Hey, chat, real OGs of the Hoosers podcast. Y'all remember first episode of the off season, bro. Shout out Rodney, bro. Shout out Rodney. Shout out Big Rod, bro. Because that was some legendary banter between him and Zeno, bro. You can't make that up, bro.
That was the funniest moment in history.
Bro say, you heard me.
Hey, and I'm only saying this about MPJ because his contract. He makes 35 to 40 mil. So if they want to move on from somebody, it's probably going to be the more expensive guy.
Garrison A says MPJ sometimes forgets he's 6'11" and acts like he's 6'4", relying strictly on jumpers and a little too much. I don't think that's I mean, does he act like does he play the shooter role like a little too much?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's that's who he's supposed to be on this.
Yeah.
I think that's his
role. When you're missing,
I think low key, and Zeno was trying to push this propaganda. Like I want to say probably like the beginning of the season when we were talking about our hot takes and stuff. But like it is true. Like MPJ is carving out like a career to be like one of the greatest shooters we have ever seen. And it's really not that crazy.
Yeah.
is really not that crazy.
Yeah. He posted shoot on threes.
A 6'10" small forward that is
shoot 40 plus.
Yeah.
My problem with MPJ is he doesn't shoot them enough.
That's not even like a new thing. That's been in the league.
Yeah, to be honest,
but like I said during the offseason,
MPJ is just a 6'11" version of like a Hito Turkoglu or something like that. Or
but what I said on the
PJ Stojakovic.
I said if he doesn't develop an ability to get to the rim, it's PJ. He's a shooter.
Yeah, like
and he's still a highly efficient shooter. Yeah,
you want to know what's crazy, Rodney? It's not like that's all he does. Like on fast breaks, he definitely has no problem using that athletic ability to be able to finish around the rim and stuff like that. But he just realizes, especially with his medical history and stuff like that, he's best utilized to be a shooter, and he's very good at it. Like he's one of the best. He's one of the best. He's the premier shooting 6'11" shooter in the league. And so like you don't eliminate that premium just because you 6'11", you could be much more. Like
I need him to be. You need him to be a little bit more, especially when you have to deal. Because where did the defense disappear to?
Please God, don't put.
You need him to step up defensively.
Yeah, I said that on the offseason as well. He has to step up defensively because it doesn't make sense. He's 6'11". He doesn't play decent.
He played defense last postseason. He played pretty solid defense.
If there's anything I want MPJ to add to this game, it's maybe being a cutting threat. I don't want MPJ to have the ball in his hands as a shot creator any more than he already does.
Yeah,
let him learn how to be better off ball in terms of his creation.
Look, one thing all of us know you can't ask MPJ to do. Pass that goddamn ball. He's not going to do that. He's never going to do it.
Boy got Kobe tendencies.
We're gonna wrap up this show. We just got to go through these last bit of chats. A1HZ says, what's good, man. Salute. Please make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe if you have not. H30 says, facts. I think Aaron Gordon gets more post-ups than MPJ. I definitely think I know he does. From the MPJ post-ups, that just sounds like it doesn't happen. A1HZ says MPJ is supposed to be a hybrid of KCP and Aaron Gordon. Can shoot as good, if not better than both, but limits himself because he doesn't have the best defender guarding him. So he has mismatches all day.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to be. But
that makes it sound worse.
Ideally, yeah. But for what's on this roster and what his skill set has been, really since he's like even debuted onto the Denver Nuggets as from his rookie season, he's been known as a sharpshooter. Like and it doesn't help the fact that when you give him the ball, he does not look to pass. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that subconscious ability to want to give the ball to the next person. If there's not a shot that MPJ does not think he can make.
And that's a perfect mentality for a sharpshooter.
That's the what is it, Elijah? That's the chemical that makes the entire thing make sense. Like if he doesn't have that thought process, that ability, being 6'11", the Denver Nuggets don't even look as dangerous as they do. If we're being quite honest with ourselves, they needed that sharpshooter that has no conscience.
What MPJ really is?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What MPJ is, he's if you ask Kevin Durant to be a role player.
All right, nigga.
That's so rude.
If you ask Kevin
H30 says MPJ can score on guards in the post, but chooses not to. Adding that to his game with his shooting can give the Nuggets a new layer. I feel like you would overcomplicate the offense at that point. I feel like the offense is fine. I think that they need some extra pieces to make this offense be able to operate and function when Jokic sits out. Because I think that has been the biggest problem with this Denver Nuggets really for this entire year. When Jokic sits out, they grow more and more incompetent by the day as far as like how they operate the offense on a usual basis. So I think they should keep the game plan as is. They should keep MPJ as is. Everybody should be as is. They just need to add more depth, and really they need to maybe diversify a little bit of the skill sets that are coming off the bench.
Yeah,
I think they very clearly need a backup big.
Agreed.
And they have been avoiding that problem for 3-4 years now. They tried it with DeAndre Jordan for a little bit, didn't work. DeMarcus Cousins as well didn't work. Thomas Bryant didn't work. Aaron Gordon worked to some degree, but clearly is a small forward, power forward kind of player. I think they need a big. What kind of big? I think you try to get one that fits better next to Jamal Murray than he does to Jokic.
Yeah.
But, you figure that out.
Give them somebody defensive to help out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Real quick, just two more chats. Garrison A says MPJ is capable of doing a lot more. Should have been first overall pick if it wasn't for injury. Yeah. I mean, you could say if he was healthy. I agree. I think he definitely did have the upside when he was healthy, but the problem is he got hurt. And so with him getting hurt, that sort of stopped. I won't say stop, but it compromised. It compromised the ceiling that he had because that back injury. I'm telling you, being in the medical field, that back injury is nothing to play with. You can have as many surgeries as you want. My mom just got back surgery. There's certain things that she just can't do that she once was able to do because there's that alignment that from getting your back broke. That alignment just puts you in a different realm as far as what you can and can't do. But I see your point. If he was healthy, he definitely should have been first overall pick. He was projected to be. A1AZ says, I criticize MPJ a lot because he has a lot of potential, but definitely is wasting it by not evolving his game. But you fellas cooking, loving the basketball conversation. I appreciate it, bro. Salute. Thank you so much, man. A1AZ also said they should pursue Vucevic. I think he's saying Vucevic from the Bulls. Yeah. Or however dude name spelled. Hey, W, you for realizing you probably fucked that up. W, you for realizing that. W, and you, boy, did you fuck that up. It's okay. You said he'd be a nice fit with Jokic. I don't really like that because you're adding no rim protection with no rim protection. Yeah. You sort of want to ideally. We'll save it for the offseason because the offseason is
this
offseason. But there are some options that they could be able to go into the offseason because they do have some assets. They do have draft compensation, so they can be able to play around a little bit in the offseason. But we'll talk about that when that time comes. But hey, man, salute to you guys so much. I want to give a huge shout out to I'm sorry, let me go ahead and do this off. I want to give a huge shout out to A1AZ, Garrison A Sturdy, definitely A Sturdy. He was busy this day. Sage, shout out to Sage. Shout out to Miss Tiffany Ned. Thank you so much for joining. Shout out to the 6 viewers we have on X that have been watching us since the beginning, bro. We appreciate you. I've been paying attention. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you to Mad Max for getting active in the chats. Appreciate to all of you guys that watched us, even if you didn't comment, even if you didn't even leave a like. Just you guys paying attention to us and even giving a shit about our conversations, our basketball conversations. We appreciate. Shout out to Moose Talks. Shout out to Cryptic. Shout out to am I forgetting anybody? Shout
out to me, nigga.
Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to me. Shout out to Christopher D. Shout out to Brandon from the block. Shout out to Jason the Kid. Mario Knows Best. Shout out to Up the Score. Please make sure to go check them out. Shout out to Champ Pryor. Shout out to Undisputed OG Champ. I gotta say that. And shout out to Go James, man. We appreciate you guys. We finna wrap this up. We're going on 3 hours and 52 minutes. God damn. We haven't done this in a minute, but it was fun. It was entertaining. You guys got any last words before we wrap this up, man?
We on 2K?
Hell no.
Man.
Not with your ass.
Not with you.
Bro.
I'm just kidding.
You played Rob.
What I'm finna do, I'm about to lock in. I'm about to lock in on some of this work because we gotta get ready for Backyard Blitz. It's popping up on Friday night. So we gotta link in about that. But other than that, man, we appreciate you guys. Our guy A1AZ says he tapped in. He subscribed. He'll be back. We appreciate you. Anything that you guys got left to say before we dip out, bro?
Fuck the Pacers, bro.
Number one pick. Hey.
All right, let it get. Okay. All right, and with that being said, man, we'll catch you guys next week, man. Peace.